or not.
And then you have an update on Tank Booker as well?
He's going to practice today. You know, he's had those knees are sore. He's had problems in the past with them, but he'll be full go today at practice.
Yeah.
With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We won't go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I know that it's good, but you said it on my taste buds. I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down, we playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem, you just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral.
Welcome in Out of Bounds here on 103.7 The Buzz. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, normally broadcasting live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios. Instead, we got Kyle Sutherland back there because we are live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock, and it is always great to be out here once again. We're going to have an easy Friday show for you today, and we'll go through all the great stuff that's going to be going down. But it's always great to be at Twin Peaks. But when you're at Twin Peaks in the middle of the football season with the NFL underway and then college football getting into full swing too, it's always a lot more enjoyable and feel like people are in a lot better mood whenever football season's here at Twin Peaks.
Absolutely. Come see us for happy hour. Happy hour starts at 2 o'clock. It goes on from 2 to 7, and then Bourbon and Brews starts at 5 o'clock, and it's from 5 to 7. So you got a couple of different specials going on. And they're doing Oktoberfest. They're doing that through the month of September. That actually starts at 6 o'clock. So you're going to have a crossover of 3 different specials going on.
It's going to be great. And we're going to be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon. And that doesn't mean that that's the only time you can get out here, because we know that in college football, NFL football, you want a place to watch, right? You want a place to be out there and to see all the games and at all the TVs that they have to offer. And this is the place to be. I mean, the amount of TVs that they have is incredible. The amount of special they have going on is incredible. There's just no better place. So we are so happy to be out here once again. And again, with happy hour starting at 2 p.m., it's when, I mean, it's really busy right now. Let's be honest. I mean, you got people already getting the weekend started a little bit early.
Always a great place to come in for lunch.
Oh man, I'm telling you, like the lunch specials that they have going on is always great. And I know that we get to come out here and get to try all the different foods that they have, but I try to do something different each and every time, and that's kind of what I'm doing here today. Got me, it's called the Hottie, but it's a jalapeno popper type of flatbread. I like to try something new every single time I'm here, and some point in time I'm going to get to the end of the menu, but every single thing I've had here has been incredible. Like every single thing I've had has been great. Their burgers are great, their sandwiches are great, their wings are great, their appetizers are great. I mean, there's no food item that you will get here at Twin Peaks and won't leave satisfied.
They actually have some new wing sauce that's really hot. It's the hottest that they've ever made. And if you're into that, you like it spicy, come try some of that new wing sauce. It's the hottest they've ever had.
Oh, see, that right there is going to be a challenge for some of you out there, I know. But, yeah, come on out and see us. Again, we'll be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon, and we're going to get you ready for the weekend on an easy Friday show. And we want to hear from you, of course. So if you want to get in on the conversation, you can call or text in at 501-661-1037. You can get after us in the Asher Wrecker live fan feedback after me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNabors. And today we are going to have Steve Sullivan joining us in the 2 o'clock hour, just like he always does. We got a chance to talk with him and what he thinks about the Arkansas game against LSU this weekend. I'm sure some high school football will be brought up as well. And we're also going to have our picks for the weekend. And we have reportedly, sources say, Nathan Monin will be joining us here live at Twin Peaks, so we'll have some fun with him too and picking some of those games and previewing the football weekend itself, because I know that, again, every time you have football season on, it's great, but in college football, you're getting to the point now to where SEC games are starting up, or just conference games in general are starting up for everybody. In the NFL, you start getting to, even though it's only been 2 games for some, and then we're getting into week 3 here, you're still getting at least an idea of what some of these teams are going to be looking like and the type of start that they off to. So right now, late September and we get into early October, that's when both college football and NFL seasons start to take shape, and you get to learn a lot about who's good, who's not good, who's got a lot of work to do, and who's just a lost cause at this point.
First game of week 3 last night, Giants at 49ers, and 49ers, they look dominant once again. Giants, they made it close for a time, but the 49ers, they did what they wanted to when they wanted to. and they control the game for the most part.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that they did because last night with Bet Saracen, I took the 49ers at -11, and there for a little bit I was like, this is too close for comfort. But luckily they pulled away and got a 30-12 victory, and they continue to look strong. And Christian McCaffrey's really good, but how about Brock Purdy? 25 of 37, 310 yards and 2 touchdowns out of him. So just an incredible game. But it's funny to me to see Daniel Jones with the Giants. I know, it's tough to go up against a team like 49ers anyway, but if I would have told you he completed 22 passes last night, went 22 of 32, you're like, okay, that's pretty good, but he only had 137 yards. So it was a lot of completed passes, but just not the amount of yardage that you expect to see for somebody who's completed 22 passes.
That's why he really fits well in their offense and what they want to do. Now, if teams are going to guard against all the talent that they have talent on the outside. You have to worry about Christian McCaffrey. They can beat you over the top. They can beat you deep, but they were missing Brandon Ayuk last night, who was their receiver that they want to go down the field with and stretch. But when you get Deebo Samuel running over the middle in some of those intermediate routes and he catches the ball in stride, he can take it to the house at any time. So they do predicate their game a lot on some of those shorter passes, but they do have players that have the ability to take it the distance if they catch some of those shorter passes.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Ayuk is such a good player. Now having him was something that they, of course, want to make sure that he's good to go. And, it shows how dominant that they are of a team where they can still be without somebody like that and still have so much success. And there's a reason why they look to be one of the strongest teams in the NFL right now. But overall, it's a pretty entertaining game. I did say, though, that I don't know. Again, I know rules are different, and it's always about judgment calls, and we get to see things on replay a lot of times. But I don't understand how the Trent Williams thing last night did not result in ejection. I just thought that if you throw a punch, that's an ejection, or at least like some sort of like costly penalty. But
it just shows they're not consistent in what they do.
Yeah.
Like it's not a rule that says if this happens, you're automatically ejected from the game. They take it into account, the situation. So that's about the officials wanting a feel for the game and feeling like they need to take control at sometimes, and you will see players ejected. But at other times, if they don't warrant that certain players should be thrown out of the game, they won't do it.
Yeah, and I think it's like that would make sense, and I think that explanation would, I think, really hold water for a few people. But when I see some of the comments made by the head of officials and senior vice president Walt Anderson, he said that he spoke to a pool reporter after the win and noted that his crew reviewed the play using available video to see if any further action needed to be taken. And he says, quote, "We ended up looking at the video we had available to us, and we just didn't see anything that rose to the level of flagrant, which is the standard that we have to apply to disqualify a player." And then Anderson went on to explain that to determine how flagrant a punch is, officials look at whether it was done with a closed fist, open hand slap, or a stiff arm to the face, because according to Anderson, a closed fist punch carries a different weight to it. So
yeah.
But when he says carries a different weight, so if the closed punch is not an ejectable, but if you would have slapped him, that would have been one? Like that would have been an ejection?
No, that's not what he's saying there. But it's good that it is defined that way, because if it wasn't specific and it was like if a punch is thrown, then any kind of action that would generate that somebody would think that that's a punch, then it's like, okay, automatic ejection. So it's good that they do detail it and they spell it out where it has different meaning on it and somebody isn't automatically ejected.
Yeah, but see, that's what I was saying when he was explaining how flagrant something can be. He says that that's what they look at, is how, if it's a closed fist or a slap or a stiff arm. So I was looking at that as him saying, okay, that's how we look at the level of flagrant, is do they do one of those things? And to me, I thought the closed fist would have been the worst one of them all, but then I guess warrant a flagrant ejection.
The officials are able to use their judgment, though, in the time, like he said, that they want to be able to look at it, and they didn't warrant that it was flagrant.
Guess not. Well, I guess it could set a precedent, because now from here on out, somebody's going to throw a punch like that in a game, they get ejected. Be like, hey, look, you guys didn't eject this guy. So either way, it was just something I thought was really fascinating, and something I was just under the impression was like, hey, I figured that was an easy ejection, but wasn't the case for Trent Williams. But didn't matter, as the 49ers took care of business 30-12 last night. But I know that we'll get to some of our picks for the NFL weekend too, and we have even some college football games, which again is what I like about on a Friday night. You still have some games going on in like Wisconsin and Purdue going on tonight at 6 o'clock. The game's on Fox Sports 1. And you have NC State and Virginia. So you're talking about Power 5 teams going at it on Friday. That one's on ESPN. And then maybe some future Pac-12 teams of Boise State and San Diego State and Air Force and San Jose State going on again into it tonight too.
They're already playing each other in another conference, so why not get into the Pac-12 and have that automatic qualifier?
Make it as easy as possible. But it is kind of fascinating to see how you have some of these conference games happening on a Friday night. But, hey, that's what makes it so fun. And coming out to Twin Peaks tonight would be a great way to get the college football season started with some of these matchups here as some of the Big Ten and ACC teams are facing off. But then, of course, the Saturday is loaded with all the other games too, and we've talked a few about them before with the SEC. But even like a Florida State Clemson game, which isn't it funny that like just 3 years ago, something like that.
The roles were reversed.
Yeah, it was like
pretty much.
Clemson was a number 4 team, national championship contender. People at Florida State were upset; they weren't happy with things the way they were going. They were like, "Oh, we made a mistake." And then here you are. Now it's the opposite, where Florida State's number 4. They're flying high. They think Mike Norvell's doing a great job, and they like the future. And then Clemson is outside the top 25 looking in, where they're like, hey, we don't like our coach right now. We're frustrated with him. We feel like he's past his prime, whatever it is. But
are they feeling like that?
Some are.
Or is that people on the outside that think Clemson may be done because of the fact that Dabo has not accepted NIL fully like other coaches have?
I think it's a combo thing with at least Clemson fans, and that's not like I know a bunch of Clemson fans, but just looking at what people have been feeling in some of the heat. I think it's a mixture of that, where they felt like Dabo was very resistant to the changes that were being made. They felt like maybe they don't have the right quarterback in place when there's another quarterback that was on their team that's doing really well across the country there at Washington State. They felt like that maybe because of how the conference realignment and everything's changing, they've had so good and Clemson being the team in the ACC. But seeing now that Florida State's up and coming and seeing that there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding it, I don't think that they're to the level of saying like, hey, you got to fire him. But I think people are there in Clemson just starting to say, okay, what's the future look like here? Because you haven't really embraced it, and it's not looking overly positive right now.
Yeah, they could be questioning it for sure. Just kind of forecasting what it looks like now and what it could look like. There could be some of that, but I don't think it's to the point where they're like, after this season, Dabo needs to go.
No. Now, if you ask Alabama fans, about their situation with Nick Saban, it was this game to Ole Miss. It's probably going to be some of those crazies saying that we need to move on.
But they do that after one game at Bama.
Could you imagine them losing 2 home games in the same season?
Right? Yeah.
Man.
So that's something that's really possible at this point.
Fireable offense over there in Tuscaloosa if that's the case. But we're going to talk about a lot of these games and get some of the headlines, too, that's going on. And, of course, we want to hear from you. You can call or text in at 501-661-1037. Get after us in the Asher Record Live Fan Feedback. After me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNeighbors. And when we come back, we'll get some more of those phone calls and messages and keep it moving as we are live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. So stay with us.
Listen for birthday trivia in the zone, brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Headed to the hill, take exit 108 from either direction for award-winning Mexican food made fresh every day. Elia's in Morrilton.
This is Sports Center.
Well, there will be a third and deciding game in the Texas League North Division Series today after the Springfield Cardinals beat the Arkansas Travelers 6-4 last night at Dickey Stevens Park. Connor Hoover was the offensive star for the Travs, going 3 for 4 with an RBI single in the 7th inning for Arkansas's first run of the game. Jake Anchia added an RBI single. Alberto Rodriguez had a 2-run home run. First pitch is set for 6:35 tonight. Stephen Davis will have the call on our sister station, 106.7 Buzz 2, starting at 6:20. Moving to college football, quarterback Jalen Macon went 17 of 29 passing for 227 yards, but it wasn't enough as UAPB lost its SWAC opener last night, 31-24 at Alabama A&M. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville is going beyond the competition to change your current vehicle situation with Gwatney's exclusive loan and lease termination program.
I need your current payment, your keys, and your signature.
Call 501-982-2102 and say hasta la vista to your current ride and payment with the help of Gwatney's loan and lease termination program, regardless of your current financial situation.
I swear I will approve everyone.
Rates as low as 0% on new Chevrolets. Trade now and terminate your payments until 2024.
Get to Gwatney now!
The loan and lease termination program is this month only at Gwatney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 501-982-2102. GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. All offers with approved credit. All voices are impersonators, but Gwatney's the real thing.
Shop Gwatney Chevrolet once, and you'll be back.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Roger Scott is at it again with his Razorback Song of the Week, presented by Dr. Jimmy Tucker in Ortho, Arkansas. Join Morning Mayhem each week as the smooth, dulcet tones of Roger Scott bring you his Razorback Song of the Week. It's all brought to you by Dr. Jimmy Tucker in Ortho, Arkansas, and your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz. RJ Hawk here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, I know interest rates are high right now. That's what everybody's talking about. But if you're thinking about a project, whether it be a commercial project or you want to build a house, now's the time to come talk to you about what those future plans may look like.
You know, RJ, no matter what the business environment may be, we're always there to sit down with our customers and talk about their future plans and what's going on with their businesses.
And that's one thing about Southern Bank is they're a community bank. They want to be your partner.
Partnering with our customers is a key to how we do business.
And Chris, you know, we talk about those interest rates being high, but the one good news out of that is deposit rates.
We have some great CD and checking account rates. Just give us a call and see what one of our personal bankers can do for you.
If you want more information about interest rates or those deposit rates that we just talked about, call Chris and his team today at 501-424-0900 or go online at bankwithsouthern.com. Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're back here with Wild Bill at Motorsports Authority. Lots of folks talking football, but we are talking great deals, Wild Bill.
All of our customers are a winner right here at Motorsports Authority, folks. We're passing out the lowest prices possible for any vehicle that we got. We're passing out top dollars for the trades. We'll trade for just about anything as long as you don't have to feed it. And I tell you what, folks, we're having a great time right here at Motorsports Authority.
In Russellville on East Main and Hot Springs on Central or online at msastore.com. Get here to Motorsports Authority.
Go home.
Have a watch party that everyone wants to attend at your house with the best of meats in the business. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Dean's going to throw, and it's intercepted at the 15. Spence has picked it off, and he's going to go the distance. 50, 40, 30, 20. Brad Spence to the house. An interception return for a score, 85 yards in his first game as a Razorback. How about that?
On 103.7 The Buzz.
But I guess you didn't know. As I said, a story goes. Baby, now I got the flow. Cause I know it from the start. Baby, when you broke my heart, that I had to come again.
It's Out of Bounds, live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Appreciate everybody listening in on an easy Friday show. We're already having a good time here. Got our food here. Got the I guess it's the Hottie jalapeno flatbread, which is phenomenal. So it's the thing about I wouldn't say it's a bad thing about broadcasting here at Twin Peaks, but more so of having to do a live radio show from Twin Peaks is that we have to actually talk instead of just eating on the air, which would be nice to do. So
we can make it work.
Yeah.
We make it work where we're able to get the meal in and still do our jobs.
That's right. That's right. That's why they pay us the big bucks here on the Buzz. But come on out and see us until 4 o'clock this afternoon. But this is the place to be with their happy hour starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon, going until 7 p.m. And then they have 10 p.m. to close, also being a part of happy hour. So be sure to come on out and see us.
We're going to do some giveaways, so just come by and say hi, and we'll give you something free.
Yeah, which is always the best way to get something from Twin Peaks is when it's free 99. And yeah, so we'll get you some of those giveaways and say more about it. Just come say what's up to us. So what kind of giveaways do we have today?
Mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, fried pickles.
Listen, all those are amazing, but
yeah,
free mozzarella sticks, man. That's the best thing here to me is the mozz sticks. Got the best ones in town. So yeah, so come say hey right here. You won't miss us. I mean, we're literally right here in front of the door. So if you walk in and you miss us, that may be a you problem. But let's see. Southern Structural Solutions text line from the 501 says, what is that song? It was Return of the Mac. It's a great song that we were coming back to. Return of the Mac. It's a good one. Also, I know that we were talking about the NFL game from last night. Also looking at ahead to some of the college football games coming up this weekend too. So it's going to be pretty fascinating because, we did a lot of diving in with Arkansas and LSU yesterday and talking about how, things have just really changed so much from just a week ago to where it's at now, where I know it's like that in sports, but it's especially like that in football, no matter if it's college or NFL, where, last week we were heading in on a Friday into the game against BYU. And I think most people, if not all people, were saying, picked Arkansas to win, said Arkansas was going to win this game. And they felt good about it. They felt good about their chances, felt good about the things that they were doing and all of that. And I don't think anyone would have disagreed at any point. But then here we are now, and it certainly seems like things have just changed in a week where nobody's saying that this team's going to beat LSU, which I know it's a different opponent, but nobody's feeling good about the future. No one's feeling good about the rest of the season. People aren't really over the moon about Sam Pittman right now. It's just, again, a week. A week has changed so much and changing the feelings and maybe the confidence level of what fans have for this team right now going into this game against LSU.
There's some optimism with some people, but yeah, for the most part, nobody, not too many people are picking Arkansas, but you'll have some of those fans that are really optimistic and they feel like things can be turned around and they may pick Arkansas to beat LSU. Now, the one person that to remember last week that picked BYU was Savage. Savage called in with score prediction, and he actually took BYU. So he was one of the few, if not the only, that took BYU last week.
So I guess we need Savage to call back in again today so he can let us know what we need to do for some of our picks this weekend. Because if he was the only one, he stood on an island, and I need to take him to bets to Saracen Casino and start making some money on that. But yeah, he was one of the few, and now it's a total opposite thing. I'm not saying that there's no one out there that has Arkansas winning or picking them to win. There may be some optimistic, but I think really what it comes down to is just like you can't point to anything. Like you just can't point to one thing and be like, oh, yeah, this is why Arkansas will win or this is why Arkansas can win. It's not to say that that it's impossible because we see it in college football happen all the time. I mean, for crying out loud, in this game itself, how many times have we seen crazy things happen where Arkansas wasn't as good as what LSU was, but yet Arkansas still won the game? We see it happen, but it's just a matter of there's nothing you can really say, well, if you do this, they'll beat LSU. It's more like they got to do this, and then they got to do this. But then LSU can't do this, and then they don't need to do this. So there's just a lot of things that have to go right for Arkansas in this game for them to lead Baton Rouge with a dub.
They have to create turnovers, play well on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and then maybe get something in special teams. And they do have that ability with Satania. He has the ability to break some of those special teams returns, but that's something that they're going to have to even have a chance, not just win the game, but have a chance in this game, or create some turnovers and do some things that are maybe you don't see typically in every game.
Yeah, because I even went back and looked at the times that Arkansas had won at Baton Rouge, which at least here it's in the 2000s, I think is probably the easiest way to do it. They've only won 3 times down there. They won in 2007, 2015, and then in 2021. And in 2007, and everything's different, I get it, but you had Darren McFadden, you had all those players. But the thing that made such a difference in that game is that you had big plays by some big-time players. You had Darren McFadden running off to the side and Casey Dick throwing that block downfield. You had Peyton Hillis have the game of his life where he had 4 touchdowns and had a big 65-yard run. And then you had some stops in overtimes. Kind of the same thing in 2015. You had a big play by Alex Collins to go the distance for 80 yards. You had, I think it was Jared Cornelius on an end around go the distance with some great blocking downfield. And even in 2021, I know it was a lower scoring game, but you still had Dominic Johnson on a broken play just happened to be wide open. So the point I'm making is that you had the times you've gone down to Baton Rouge, you had your best players make the biggest plays. And that's what Arkansas is going to also have to do in this one is they're going to have KJ they're going to have him make plays. I know that it's maybe not fair to him because he's still got to count on that offensive line to protect him. But if Arkansas is going to win, you got to have some KJ Jefferson plays. You got to have some of his best moments. You got to have him try to get more people involved as much as possible too.
KJ is going to have to do it in every game pretty much. And that's kind of how we saw it coming into the season, that KJ was going to be the leader and have the team going in the right direction. And it's really vital at this point once you get into conference play, and especially with an opponent like LSU.
Yeah, because they're going to show no mercy. They still have national championship aspirations. They still can win the SEC West. Like, even though they've lost a game, that doesn't matter. They're going in here and they're going to want to make sure that they take care of business early against Arkansas because they know that they still got Bama on their schedule. They still got A&M. They still got Ole Miss. They still got Florida. Like, they still got some pretty key games, and they're going to be really focused in and try to make sure that the I call it a poor performance. They still won, but they don't want to have a game that gets 13-10. You know, they want to have a game where they do what they're supposed to do and get Jaden Daniels going in a major way. And I mean, that's what's going to come down to, because I didn't even realize, I should have, but you know, he's their leading rusher too. Like he's the do-it-all type of player.
He's that good.
Yeah, and if you're Arkansas's defense, that's also the opposite way of it too, where you know KJ's got to do his thing, but if you're the Arkansas defense, if Jaden Daniels has a big game, you have no chance. Like if he has a game that we've seen him already with his arms and with his legs, he's the key. If you stop him, you stop LSU's offense, at least at this point. But it's easier said than done. There's a reason why many teams haven't been able to stop Jaden Daniels so far.
LSU is one of those teams that could be the best team in the country if they put it all together. Now, it seems a little more spread out amongst college football, around college football this year, where you can point to a number of different teams and say, hey, this is the best team, and give all the reasons as to why that's the best team. But LSU is one that fits in that category of some of those teams. If you want to say there are like 5 teams to choose from, LSU is one of those that you could put in that 5.
Oh, yeah, because they not only have the talent. We all know they have the talent. They got the quarterback. They got a coach in Brian Kelly, which I know he's not won a national championship, but he's played in a few when he was at Notre Dame, or coached in a few, I should say, when he was at Notre Dame. So they have all the makings of what a team that can win a national championship can be. And so they don't have a whole lot of weaknesses. I know we had Matt Moscona on yesterday. He said the secondary has been really poor for LSU so far this season.
By LSU
standards. And so like that's pretty much all you can point to, though, as far as like, well, maybe, just maybe, you know, you can pass it on him. But even then, it's like you're still going to have to protect KJ. You're still going to have to give him time to be in the pocket and make some throws. You got some good wide receivers. I really like what Luke has brought as a freshman tight end. All that's well, good, great, grand, and wonderful. But crying out loud, if the ball snapped and Harold Perkins is already in the ear hole of KJ Jefferson, none of that's going to matter how good KJ is or anything. I just don't know. I know that they have like adjustments and things they can do, screen passes and whatnot, but I just don't know if you can do enough as an offensive line if you have trouble protecting him as an offense to still have success. I just don't know if you can do enough.
Running game needs to be better. They need to continue to try to get the running game going, and it's something that has been an issue over the past 3 weeks of really getting it going, and now you're to the point that that's probably what you do best as a team, and traditionally that's what you do best. You've got to really hone in on that run game and try to get it going, and it starts with the offensive line. The offensive line has to protect. They have to block moving forward on those runs, but also protecting the passing game.
On our Southern Structural Solutions text line from the 479 says, if you have Criswell in, you won't need KJ. Well, here's my argument to that. It doesn't matter if Criswell is back there. It doesn't matter if Matt Jones is back there. It doesn't matter if you can't block for him. Like, you can have Criswell there all day long, or anybody, but it's not going to matter if you can't block. And they can't block right now. So, I mean.
Oh, there are people already calling for Criswell. That's funny.
Come on. KJ's been fine. He's like, it's people are cracking me up, though. I mean, but that's what happens when people are mad. They just want stuff to change. We all want it to change. We all want it to be good. We all want it to be better. But, you know, it's you're 3 games in, and you're going up against arguably the best team you're going to be facing the rest of the season. So they just got to focus on what they're going to do, and hopefully we'll see. But, I mean.
Now, if it is a situation where KJ, like Coach Pittman said, he's been dealing with a bit of an injury, if that is something that continues to bother him, then maybe there should be a look at Criswell sometime, during the game, not only this game specifically, but if it's something that is lingering and he needs a break, there may be a chance to get Criswell in and get him to play a game.
Might be, and I don't think anyone would be against it. Or if if KJ's not 100%, and if he's not being able to do KJ stuff, then I think people feel a lot more confident having KJ go in than what it was the past few years with the backup quarterback situation. So, but Arkansas is going to have their hands cut out for them, and they're going to have to play one of their best games, if not their best game of the year. But we'll see what this team's made of. We're going to see what they're made of and see if they can come out fighting and see if they can go and get that boot from LSU, as we know that's exciting. Which I was talking to some one of my buddies who actually is an LSU fan down there in Baton Rouge, and he told me that and this is not T-Bob either, because T-Bob we know loves the boot. He told me that he loves the boot. He says that it is actually something that he likes and he cares about, and he likes seeing it. And honestly, he says he'd rather have that trophy than any of the other trophies against, which they don't have many, but still, like we'd rather have that Golden Boot trophy than some of the other games that they're going up against. So I was surprised to hear that. There's actually more than just, we hate the boot. It's like, no, there's some people that actually like the boot down in LSU.
They're bragging rights. Like, I mean, for them to say that Arkansas is down the pecking order as far as a rivalry, that type thing, that's understandable.
Right.
But they're bragging rights to beating opponents, especially when there is a trophy tied to it. Rose says people are calling for Criswell because he's better for the system. Enos didn't put anything in that KJ is comfortable with.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, Ro. I'm not saying that but my whole thing is if you're Dan Enos and if you're Sam Pittman, would you not have seen? Are you just going to play KJ for the sake of playing KJ? Because in practice, would you have seen more from Criswell to say, hey, this guy gets it more, this guy looks better, this guy's understanding the offense a little bit more? I'm not saying you're wrong, but I would be very disappointed if we found out that Criswell understands and is better and has all these things, but yet they still went with KJ Jefferson. I would still be disappointed.
That it probably says more to the fact of you have to understand who the talent is and who the quarterback is. And of course you want to run your system, but It's not like Dan Enos hasn't run different systems with different quarterbacks. So to Rose's point, put in some things that KJ is comfortable with and some of the plays that he specifically really likes to run. Do some more of that.
Well, from what Sam Pittman said earlier this week, looks like that is what they're going to be doing, is that they've been really working on some things as far as getting the ball quickly out of KJ's hands, doing a lot in the screen game, a lot more of the RPO, just trying to find ways to keep it balanced, but also keep KJ as comfortable as possible, because he's gonna get hit in this game. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. KJ's gonna get hit in this game. And he's going to be under pressure. And there's going to be times he's running for his life. And there's times he's going to get sacked. But it's a matter of, can he just keep his confidence up where he's like, all right, next play, let's do this. Next play, I got this. Like, you got to find different various ways to do it. You've had 3 games to see it. And, maybe that's what is the key, is just having LSU be off kiltered a little bit because you got KJ doing the things that we know KJ's capable of.
Rose says can't bench preseason top SEC quarterback in some people's opinion. And then also he says that the tackles may be struggling in a sense because they're used to blocking the RPOs for KJ specifically. And if they're running something different, that may cater to them struggling with what they're doing in their technique.
I think there's some truth to that, because it's like what we discussed when Dan Enos came in from 2014 to 2015. Now, this was at Jim Chaney, right, was the offensive coordinator for Brett Bielema, and they had a different approach and a different way of doing it, and it looked kind of rough in the beginning. It didn't seem like everyone was on the same page, where the offensive line was struggling to be able to run block effectively and protect Brandon Allen like that. Because there was, I think, was it in 2014, Brandon Allen only got sacked like 8 times in the entire year.
That's because he was really good at throwing the ball away. That was something that was one of his great strengths, where he was always aware of what was going on, and he was great about throwing the ball away.
Yeah, now you have it to where when Dan Enos came in, I know that the blocking schemes changed a little bit. The type of approach that they had to the offense was a little bit different. and it took some getting used to. Now, if it's an excuse or if it's something that you don't want to see, I get it. But I think that it's just a matter of, if you're Dan Enos, your back's against the wall right now. You don't have time to continue to try to figure it out. You gotta do what works. And if there's something that's working with KJ as your quarterback, then do it. Just even if it's different from what you've taught, even if it's different from what you expect or what you game plan for, make your offense have confidence in what they're doing going forward.
And these are things that should have been figured out during the non-conference season, during non-conference games. And maybe they were going through some motions, as some people said, running certain types of offenses, trying to get everybody up to speed. And if they saw that it wasn't effective so far, then maybe you revert back to doing something that is going to work for KJ specifically and the players that are on the field. And you cater more towards them and not have the players adapt to what you're doing.
Yeah, because it's a matter of, if you can't win, you can't score. And it's also where, if you're KJ, this is your final year, and you want to make sure that you're showcasing, the best and taking that next step forward. When we had Austin Allen on our show back when Dan Enos was hired, he went off about how he said Dan Enos is an incredible quarterback developer, incredible play caller, an incredible offensive mind. And I don't doubt that. I'm not saying that he's wrong, but I do know that it's different. It's a different thing. There's different expectations. You just can't afford to continue to have these struggles in the early part of the year, because, as we know, the schedule just continues to get more difficult, and being on the road and being all on the same step. So I'm still looking forward to seeing what can happen. I still feel like they'll be able to take it to a couple games here and there that they'll be able to showcase it. But is it going to happen against LSU this weekend? I don't know about that. Because I guess the last time I checked, Bet Saracen, actually, I need to do it again. But the line, it was moving just a little bit here and there. But for this particular game, I think it's still, Razorbacks are still 17.5-point underdogs. So I think it got down to 17 for a second, but then stayed pretty firm at 17.5. So you're talking about a 3-score game, essentially, is what the lines are looking like with Bet Saracen. I think that's about right, too. I think it's about what's expected.
Some of the optimism is coming in where people don't expect the game to be out of hand to that extent, and expect Arkansas to play a little bit better. Maybe not expect them to win, but stay within the betting totals there, and not really just get blown out the way that the line is saying they're going to get blown out.
Yeah. If it's 17.5, or if it's a 3-score game, it's going to be a lot of disappointment there too. And rightfully so, because you want to be able to be competitive, and not say that LSU is a team that you should just, put points up against and defensively be okay. But you got to show some fight. You got to show some heart. You got to show that that loss against BYU, you're coming out hot and you're coming out your strongest after that. Like, that's what people want to see. They just want to see the effort. They want to see the strength. They want to see a team that's mad and upset that they lost and embarrassed, and they go out and they give it their all.
Well, we said going into last week's game that it was starting to get real because it was a step up in competition. This is when it really gets real, because now you're in conference play.
Yeah. There's no turning back from here where you're at right now. No excuses. Nobody's going to make them for you, and we're certainly not going to. But, hey, it's going to happen tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. We'll have all the Razorback football coverage right here on 103.7 The Buzz. We're going to take a break as we are broadcasting live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Coming out and see us until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to have what's trending in the world of sports, as well as more of your phone calls and your text messages. So come on out and see us. Again, Twin Peaks here in Little Rock on Out of Bounds.
Arch Marine and G3 Boats have teamed up for the model year closeout sale. It's the biggest rebates of the year. Get $2,000 off G3 Sportsman boats or $3,000 off Bay 22 boats. Act now as these deals end September 30th. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, so should you.
Greenway is your local source for John Deere equipment and implements. Now, we've made finding the perfect piece of equipment even easier. Shop our tractor packages online at gogreenway.com. Till deeper with our down-to-earth package. Or save big with our Green Saver package. Need something with a little more muscle? Kick it up a notch with Greenway's Get In Gear package. We're here to support the DIYer in you. No matter what project comes your way, Greenway has you covered.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night fights.
When it comes to bikes, here's what you want. Reliable, fast, and tough as nails. That's what you get at OCC. And after a crash, that's what you get at Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton.
All senior knows this. We're the Arkansas law firm motorcyclists have counted on for years.
We work fast to get you the best results, and we're tough where it counts, fighting for you.
Reliable, fast, tough as nails. These are the guys I'd call anywhere in the state. Dial 888-8888. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Responsible attorneys have the Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called Testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ALL to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart's. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 42424. That's ALL to 42424. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Fence Brokers presents Zach Williams every Tuesday when he gets in the zone with Justin and Wes to talk about what's happening on the hill and what to expect from this week's big game. Zach Williams in the zone from Fence Brokers, going the extra mile.
In a world of inflated car payments and sky-high interest, Guadney Buick GMC next to Sam's in North Little Rock is taking their inventory to the nines. Call 501-945-4444. Get Sierra 1500 with the 5.3 V8 engine at just 0.9%. Plus, Guadney will double down with an additional $3,250 off when trading in a 2009 or newer vehicle. Guadney Buick GMC hasn't left out SUVs. Get 2023 GMC Terrain at just 1.9%. Or 2024 Buick Encore GX at just 2.9%. And if you haven't noticed, the holidays are coming. So why not get all the way to 2024 with no payments for the rest of the year? Guadney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Call 501-945-4444. Guadney Buick GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
Guadney for Buick, Guadney for GMC, Guadney for life.
Want to voice your opinion so you don't have to hear the same terrible callers every day?
Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a worthless loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing.
Then call or text 501-661-1037 to help the cause. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Jefferson off the zone read. Play action. Pumps once. Looking deep. Tesla at the goal line. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas. Man, is this guy a find or what?
On 103.7 The Buzz.
If you're shopping for a vehicle, you want to get to Guadney Chevrolet. Guadney has the best deals in the market. Been doing it 60-plus years. Give them a call, 501-982-2102. Take advantage of Guadney's loan and lease termination program. Get out of that vehicle that you don't want anymore. Also, take advantage of no payments for the rest of the year. Great deals on Silverado, 0% financing with approved credit, and 2.1% is available on 2023 Equinox. And as far as the loan and lease termination program, everyone is approved for that. So get to Guadney Chevrolet and get into another vehicle. Make the trip to the lot off the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. Shop them online, GuadneyChevrolet.com. You can see all the deals, the cash allowances, the rebates, even appraise the vehicle, see just how much it's worth. They're giving thousands over book value, whether you trade that vehicle in or you sell it to Guadney Chevrolet. Guadney is always actively buying vehicles, so you get a great deal on a vehicle that you trade in or sell. See the entire inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles on GuadneyChevrolet.com. It's Guadney Chevrolet, Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. Guadney Chevrolet, GuadneyChevrolet.com.
It is an Easy Friday show here as we are live from Twin Peaks in Little Rock. Appreciate everybody listening in this afternoon. And again, come on out and see us. We'll be here till 4 o'clock this afternoon. And when you come say hey to us, we'll hook you up with some free food items from Twin Peaks. So be sure to do that, and we'll have a good time and get your weekend started early here in Little Rock. We have a few things that are going on in the world of sports, so let's talk about what's trending.
What's trending in the world of sports is sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansas with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
All right, what's trending in the world of sports? Some NFL news and some updates, like with the Indianapolis Colts. Quarterback Anthony Richardson will miss Sunday's game after sustaining a concussion in Week 2. And backup Gardner Minshew will start the road game against the Baltimore Ravens, with Sam Ehlinger serving at his backup due to Richardson not practicing this week after self-reporting a concussion symptom in the second quarter this past weekend. So I hate to see that for any quarterback, but especially for a rookie who's trying to get some things going, get into the flow of things, for it to be out for a concussion. Hopefully it's nothing too serious and he'll be back before you know it.
Better to be safe, though. And that's why, him taking himself out of the game, that was really smart of him and showed his leadership ability.
Also, with speaking of injuries and speaking of rookies, Carolina Panthers rookie quarterback Bryce Young will miss 1 to 2 weeks with a sprained ankle that he suffered in this past Monday night game. That's according to Frank Reich. He says Bryce has done well all this week. I'm optimistic he's on the right path. Whatever the soonest we can get him back, he will be back. And when he gets back, he will be our guy. So going to have Andy Dalton stepping up to the plate and playing for Bryce Young, but could be a 2-week thing too, not just this weekend, but could be next weekend as well.
Another situation of just play it safe. Don't put the guy out in harm's way. You got a quality backup, somebody you feel good about as far as a veteran presence that came into the team. So, yeah, have your franchise quarterback, keep him safe, and get him back on the field when he's ready to go.
Well, a quarterback that's pretty uncertain about what's going on with him is Joe Burrow with the Cincinnati Bengals. But they decided as a Bengals organization to add a third quarterback just to be safe, as Reed Sinnett. He's been signed to the team's practice squad, and the move comes the day after because Joe Burrow didn't practice because of that calf injury that he's been dealing with. And the team's reserve quarterback, Will Grier, actually got signed to the active roster for the New England Patriots. So they're deciding to go with him and try to have some extra pieces in there just because he's pretty uncertain as far as where he's been. But he's also, I guess he's played in the XFL this past year, right? So he's got some experience, or at least for San Antonio. The Brahmas, right? Isn't that the XFL team? So there you go. How about that? But hopefully, for their sake and for the Bengals' sake, they probably don't need him, or hopefully they won't need him, but still you got to.
It's not that they don't need him, but you want to do the same thing there and get the guy off the field and let him get healthy, as opposed to keep playing him and you know that injury is going to linger on and you're going to need him at the end of the season. So would you rather him miss games now or at the end of the season when you may really need to win some games to try to make a playoff push?
And also, it was kind of a cool story that I saw, at least from the college football landscape. The Louisville football team has nothing to do with what they do on the field, but the Louisville Metro Police thanked the Cardinals players, football players that is, on social media because they came to the rescue by helping ride away a flipped vehicle involved in an accident this past week near their stadium. Apparently, the video was posted to the police department's account and showed a vehicle driving through the intersection, and it blurs the crash, but shows at least 5 Cardinal players and another motorist flipping the wrecked vehicle from the driver's side back onto its wheels before first responders arrived. The driver suffered some minor injuries, will be okay from the accident, and they also did not identify which players that were there, but still a pretty cool moment in that type of situation for them to just go out there and respond immediately to try to get that vehicle back on its feet. So that's a cool story.
Yeah, always good for people to respond and help others that need the help at the time, but it gets recognition when it is somebody significant, athletes, but just people being good people and helping others. That's the bottom line. That's the key to it.
But we talk also in college football about, Oregon State and Washington State are the only teams remaining in the Pac-12, at least for the foreseeable future. And they're going to be facing off against each other. And they're still trying to figure out what's going on. But Oregon State Athletic Director Scott Barnes indicated that he's curious about the possibility of a promotion and relegation league in college football. Of course, we know that's been used in soccer leagues around the world, that they move up and down depending on your competitiveness. We know it's used at the high school level, even here in the state of Arkansas. But when you're talking about media rights in the future, he says, I think some sort of relegation model, either in unequal distribution, a contraction of teams, and or peer relegation will take place. I think that's coming. So could be seeing something like that happen in the college football where some teams are going to be getting moved in and out as far as depending on how good they are, how much money that they're actually bringing
It
in.
wouldn't be a surprise at all with all the changes that have happened in college football.
I think it's great. I like relegation, at least and when it's, not your team that has to go through it, but still, I think it's a fair way of doing it and gives you motivation and incentive to continue to build back up. So who knows? Maybe that'll actually happen at some point in time. But they still have got a lot of deals. They're just trying to figure out how to make money at this point in time as an overall group. And also, we'll have some clips to play later in the show too, because I think it's pretty fun from the NFL side of things. A great one from Tom Brady that I think is a fun talking point. But also on the baseball side of things too. Wanted to throw this around that Sean Doolittle, who's the two-time All-Star reliever who had the Nationals win a World Series just a few years ago. He officially announced his retirement on a social media post. Said he had a full heart, but he played 11 incredible seasons of the sport I love, and he is going to be moving on to the next stage of his life. So I think that's always a good thing, that if you call it a career in the baseball, not only having 11 years of being able to play, but getting a World Series title to go along with it is probably a little bit easier to retire if you have that.
It's a hard thing to do for athletes to step away, to realize that it is that time, because this is something they've been doing most of their lives. And it's hard. It's hard for them to kind of be in that mindset that they need to step away, but it's good when they're able to realize it.
So there you have it. There's what's trending in the world of sports. We're going to take a top of the hour update. When we come back, we're going to have Steve Sullivan of KATV joining us, as we'll talk to him about the Razorbacks and LSU, as well as some high school football with him. And we'll continue to take your phone calls and text messages on an easy Friday show on Out of Bounds as we broadcast live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Come on out and see us. We'll get you hooked up with one of the great food items that we have for free in our gift certificates that we have for you. And we'll keep it moving here in the second hour of Out of Bounds. It's all coming up next.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
I know the last 3 years, people have got accustomed to paying sticker price for a brand new vehicle. Well, it's not that way anymore at Red River Ram. If you're looking for a new Ram truck, we've got heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks starting at $49,500 or up to $12,000 off sticker price for a Cummins diesel. And we've got $11,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorn four-wheel drive trucks. If you want the best selection and the best buying experience, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Now during Ram Power Days.
Where can you find 16 cold beers on tap, the largest Irish whiskey selection in town, weekday happy hour, as well as college, pro, and even World Cup football games all on big screen TVs? Oh, and let's not forget the great food, great drinks, daily lunch specials, music on the weekends, and a private party room available with reservation. Well, of course it's Dugan's Pub, your favorite Irish pub in Little Rock since 2010. Dugan's Pub, downtown 3rd and Rock Street, DugansPubLR.com.
You know where to find us.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
1037 The Buzz, your number one sports station in Arkansas.
I want that Arkansas.
KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
A fourth juvenile was arrested in connection to a homicide in Pine Bluff in July. 17-year-old Marshawn Jones was arrested in connection to the murder of 16-year-old Damian Pearson and the shooting of Archelius Glover. Pearson was found shot just after 4 a.m. on July 15th on East Lake Drive. Shortly after police found his body, they found Glover nearby. Jones is facing several charges and will be charged as an adult. A woman now living in Little Rock is blaming a moving company for damaging some of her possessions, including a grand piano. She She hired American Van Lines and paid $7,000 up front with the intent of paying another $7,000 after her belongings were unloaded. When the company was finished, the woman said she noticed several priceless items were scratched and damaged along with broken pieces. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Listen for NFL Hall of Fame referee Walt Coleman Wednesdays during Morning Mayhem, presented by Sigma Supply Packaging Products. Schedule a free waste audit analysis with Sigma Supply's sales manager, David Breitenberg, and see if automation is a solution to your production line issues. Online at sigmasupply.com. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Our rain chances going back up to 40% for today. The rain and clouds will keep us a little bit cooler with a high around 84. And the showers should wrap up this evening. Then mostly dry through Saturday, but good rain chances back Sunday. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel. Dinner for two for $60. Split a 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, and our famous salad bar.
Are you a fan or are you the ultimate fan? Play the Alon DK Ultimate Sports Fan Package Sweepstakes for a chance to prove you're the world's greatest armchair quarterback, all from the comfort of your own home theater. Visit an Alon DK near you to enter for a chance to build your own home theater with a $5,000 Best Buy gift card plus a YouTube TV gift card. Your ticket to streaming your favorite games this season. Visit an Alon or DK today and score big. No purchase necessary. 18 or older. Message and data rates may apply. For official rules, eligibility, terms and conditions, and privacy policy, visit myalon.com/ultimate sports fan sweeps.
NFL legend Dan Hampton joins Morning Mayhem each week for a little football talk courtesy of Metro Towing and Recovery and Central Termite and Pest Control.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
Bank OZK has always strived for excellence. During every economic storm, through every season of hardship, and despite every obstacle, we've reached for greater. Because we know to achieve excellence, you've got to keep pushing, keep building, keep growing, and just keep going. At Bank OZK, we're reaching for greater heights so you can be greater than you can imagine. Visit a branch or OZK.com today. Bank OZK. Greater awaits. Member FDIC.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Drew Self in Hot Springs or Todd Matthews in Benton for a free insurance review.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Freddie Coleman.
Put it this way, if it's going to be fixed, if they're going to find a way out of this abyss, out of this adverse situation, Ryan Poles' words as general manager, not mine, then Matt Eberflus has to fix this with his quarterback. Whatever he has to do, he's got to get in touch with himself to say, you know what? I need my guy to win. I have a philosophy, but it can't just be a rigid philosophy. You got to be able to adapt when you have a guy that people know is a talented quarterback. There's no any kind of conversation you can have me say, oh, Justin Fields not talented. At that point, you can leave. You can get out the room when you try to say something like that. But that doesn't mean that you can't be the kind of coach to say, we believe in your talent. What can we do to make sure that talent is going to be magnified according to our philosophy? And if you have to change that philosophy with a guy like that, then Matt Eberflus has to seriously think about that with a guy like Justin Fields in his roster.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
I don't have an update on his status, but I can tell you that he's really ran well yesterday and progressing faster than what I thought he might. And but I don't know whether he'll be able to play or not.
And then you have an update on Tank Booker as well?
He's going to practice today. You know, those knees are sore. He's had problems in the past with them, but he'll be full go today at practice.
Yeah. With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We won't go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I know that it's good. You say that on my taste buds. I get way too busy once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down.
1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Got Kyle Sutherland back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It's been an easy Friday show to get your weekend started. And just as a heads up, folks, here at Twin Peaks, happy hour has officially started. So it is 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to close. So you got all the happy hour deals like $1 off the bars with liquor and drafts. Got $2 crispy beef tacos and chips and sauce to go along with it, too. You also get $4 fried pickles and chips and queso and mozzarella bites. But here's the thing. If you come say hi to us, you get one of those for free.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. We just met Tyree, and he came by and said hi, and he got some mozzarella cheese bites.
Yeah, so it's good to see Tyree and good to meet him. And we'll be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon, so come on out and see us. As we got a lot of stuff that we've been trying to cover here in today's show and getting you ready for the football weekend. And there's no better person to talk about the football weekend than Steve Sullivan of KATV. So let's go ahead and welcome him in. And Sully, as always, appreciate you joining us this afternoon, man. How you doing?
Oh, getting ready for another big football weekend. And what a weekend it is.
Hey, Sully, we want to start by saying happy birthday.
Yeah, just checking another box there. I'm happy to check that box and move on. I've gotten to that point in life where you're thankful just for your birthday, you've survived another year. That's the whole deal now. Survive and advance.
So what are you thinking with Little Rock Christian and PA tonight?
Well, I can never bet against PA. But, you know, if I'm Walker White, do I want to go through the rest of life when I'm 40 years old with some old PA guy that hardly played a down saying, Walker, you never beat us at Little Rock Christian. You know, and this is one of those games, kind of like a legacy game for Walker White. You need to get PA tonight, and what great hype! Props to Coach Lucas, because I knew people in the inside predicting doom for PA this year, and they've had some key injuries, a big move out, and they just keep on going. PA picking up wins, and it's always a fun game, and it should be a great atmosphere tonight.
Yeah, I think I heard some about Walker White's stats so far this year, and it's pretty incredible. And I think you're starting to see why so many schools were after him and recruiting and everything. I mean, it seems like his type of numbers that he puts up, there might be a lot of records getting broken.
Yeah, he's got all the measurables. He's a big kid. He runs well. He's a very nice kid, and probably my knock on him last year, maybe he wasn't advanced in the passing game, and this is a big game for him because PA knows him well. And I think Walker needs to play well tonight. I don't know if he's right now a great high school quarterback, but he is an incredible college prospect. And this would go a long way tonight if he plays well in a big game, stamping him as a great high school quarterback.
What have you seen from Walker White so far this year that's shown growth in the passing game?
I think he's getting better decision making, and he's got some weapons around him, and he runs at the proper time, and he is a man running the ball. He's got good speed, and he's a big guy. He's a guy you don't want to get in front of. And I truly haven't seen all the plays and all the games to make any probably accurate judgment on where he is throwing the ball. But I think tonight there's going to be a lot of eyes on this game, and PA knows him well. So this is the kind of game, you're remembered for how you perform in the biggest game. And this is as big as it gets for Little Rock Christian right here.
Well, Sully, I know that also we've been talking about Arkansas and LSU tomorrow, and it was really disappointing last week when we talked about the BYU game. We all were pretty confident that Arkansas would win, not saying that they would win easily, not saying that they would blow them out, but I think everyone was confident that they would win. But to see them lose the way they did, it's really killed any sort of confidence anybody had of knocking off LSU. I mean, it was going to be low as it is because LSU is a really good team, but it's just going into this game, not many people are even feeling like Arkansas is going to give them a game or give them a chance, but they need to show something tomorrow to at least give some Razorback fans some hope.
Yeah. What worries me the most is I didn't walk away from any of those first three games thinking the Hogs played very well. In the back of my head, I hear Sam Pittman telling me that this is the best team he's had and all the talent, but something's not clicking. And they've been blah offensively. Outside of that A.J. Green play, there's been no big ball, hasn't been much running after catch. They can't get the yards rushing when they need them. This is where you're supposed to pile up the yards. And I'm used to Arkansas being so proficient in the running game and getting a lot of yards. They haven't done that. It's just, and you got those young tackles that are really struggling against BYU, and they're going to have to go down there in Baton Rouge. And, LSU's defense hasn't been great, but, they have better athletes than BYU coming off the edge. And that could be a tough matchup. And that's why the coaches make millions of dollars. We're only in week 4. But it feels like, and this is a product of expectations, this is the highest early season leverage game that Sam Pittman has coached. I mean, they got to compete well and maybe even win to get a lot of people off his back, and because the expectations are what they are. And, people aren't going to be happy if we go down there and lose 41-21.
For Arkansas, what is something that could be in their favor that could help them in going on to win this game? Like, special teams at times when you see Satania and the ability that he has there and what he could do, the potential that's there. Maybe that's something that Arkansas could point to say if they get something from Satania, if they play better in those areas, that's something that could be in their favor going into this game against LSU.
I think, the fact that they scored defensively and they've scored in special teams, if you could get some easy scores on either side will be big. And I'm not so sold if we don't kick the ball in the end zone and how well we cover kicks. I mean, BYU got out to the 50 with no problem on the one kick they returned. And so that could be big in this game. And, we got to punt well because we're probably going to punt a lot. And we did not punt extremely well. And he mentioned he's going to go with 2 guys. That's the stuff when you go on the road and you got a hostile environment and you got a crowd that's cooked, punting could be a problem. And this team just has a lot to figure out. And LSU is here on the road. And, and I watched last week and, maybe it was more Mississippi State, but Daniels looked incredible. Hopefully we'll obviously present a lot more problems than Mississippi State did defensively, but he just didn't look like the guy who tucks it and runs at the first sign of trouble that I saw last year. He looks like he's progressed. This is a big game for him too. LSU loses this one and wow, the pressure on Brian Kelly in Baton Rouge. I mean, can you imagine what that next week will be like if he loses this one?
Oh yeah, it'll be incredible to see how people will be reacting to that. But here's the thing, Sully, and it kind of leads into my next question. LSU, they got a lot of strengths. They look really good. You know, you mentioned Daniels, that defensive front. We still have nightmares about Perkins and everything. So is there something that LSU that you see in them that Arkansas could do or could exploit? Something to where if Arkansas does this really well, they may actually get out of there with a victory. Is there anything you see about them that just it does not look very impressive?
Well, they haven't been a great defense in the first 3 games, but look, they played Florida State, and Mississippi State didn't do much, but it's an SEC team. So they played obviously a much better schedule than we played. And their defense has been exposed a little, but, KJ's got to be big. KJ's got to be huge. I think it's going to be one of those games where he pulls a Jaden Daniels from last week and leads us in rushing and passing. We need these broken plays where he makes plays, and, he's got to be huge. If KJ doesn't play lights out, I don't think we got a chance.
What do you want to see from the running back position? AJ Green, most people are loving the speed that he has and want to see him get some more carries. But do you like the rotation of running backs? Rocket is the guy, but if he isn't available, there's a rotation that they have. Do you want to see that, or would you rather see the focus go to one of the backs that and just put the focus and the ball in a certain back's hands?
I don't mind. AJ Green gives you the home run hitting availability as we saw last week, and he busted that long run. And, it's basically blocking for these guys. We have good backs. I love Dominion too. I'm not worried about the running backs, but you got to block them. And we haven't been great on first or second down, and we haven't been a good offense the first 3 games. And you like to think that maybe this is going to be the week, but I really believe you got to go with kind of a different plan this week. You better, with the way the tackles struggled last week, you got to plan on getting the ball out quickly and, try to keep KJ clean, but one thing with Dan Enos, the first time he was here and why no one was protesting when he left was he loved slow developing routes. And that'll get your quarterback killed with this offensive line. And I remember in his last year with Austin Allen, he was like a pinata down in Texas A&M when they had those good defensive ends. And I can remember those long developing, and I've seen a lot of it early in the season with those slow developing routes. And if you've watched our offensive line, I think this week, if he has a quick passing game, we're going to see it this week. Because I don't think you can stand back there with Perkins and whoever the other defensive end is coming in, because our young guys are struggling. And I have no question Kudus is going to get better because he's just a high school guy. And Chamblee may be a year early. I don't know. And it's think about those kids. When Chamblee started this season, he probably thought I may play. He probably didn't think he was going to get 75 snaps against BYU. That's the world we're living in. That guys are probably doing things on the offensive line that they didn't think they would be doing. And Limmer, this guy's learning a new position. Now the most difficult position on the offensive line is center. You're going to make the calls. You're the quarterback of the offensive line, and he hasn't been the same guy at center that he was at guard. And so Coach Pittman said 2 games in that this offensive line thing wouldn't get fixed overnight. And we hope it's better at Baton Rouge.
Stinging with Steve Sullivan here on Out of Bounds of KATV, live from Twin Peaks. So, Sully, looking at the defensive side of the ball, I feel like the defense has actually played pretty well. People looked at, they gave up 38 points last week. They're not any good. Well, they only had like 247 yards. They had a lot of short yardage situations, and, they did a good enough job. But going up against Daniels, do you think that Arkansas has the defense in place to try to slow down a very athletic and very much a dual threat quarterback like Jaden Daniels? Do they have the pieces there to do that?
Yeah, I think the one thing LSU problem they'll present that maybe our previous 3 opponents didn't present is they got guys on the outside that can probably win one-on-one matchups. What's killed our defense is just bust. and they're so over aggressive that, the one throwback where they had the lefty threw and they had the tight end wide open, they forgot about him. And then the screen pass that was thrown on the backside where they were chasing the other way. And they've been pretty good. I overall, I just would like, and they've got pretty good sack numbers, a more consistent pressure on the quarterback. And, Daniel's their guy. He's a speed runner too. So if you just have a crease, he's gone. And it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think LSU has been lights out. They looked really good against Mississippi State, but we saw them get kind of punked by Florida State. And, you are pretty much in the eyes of America what you were the week before. And LSU was really good last week, and we weren't. And as a result, it's a 16 or 17.5 up the line, and just think if we beat BYU soundly, it's probably the 6 or 7 point line. It's just Vegas knows the way people, as Pat Bradley says, you don't want to be, but a lot of folks are a prisoner of the moment. And you look last Saturday and you look how good LSU looked, and then you look how we played, you say, whoa, there's a big difference between those two teams.
Well, sorry, real quick before I let you get out of here, Vet Saracen has it at 17.5 points underdogs for Arkansas. Do you think that they cover spread? What do you think ends up happening in the game as far as final score and prediction for you?
Yeah, I stay away from that line right there because it could get bad late. I really don't know. I've been surprised by Arkansas in the past when I've gone into games to understand Pittman, and I thought there's no way they're going to be able to hold the line of scrimmage against these guys, and they do. And many times it's been against A&M. Last year against LSU, I thought, going into that game, LSU would push us around and would abuse us, but they didn't. So it's so hard to predict. That's why it's hard to win betting on games. Believe me, I've been on both sides. And I've really had good luck betting the Hogs in the past. But the one thing I can hang your hat on with Coach Pittman is, and I don't know if this will be the case on Saturday, but in all but 2 games in the first 2 years, we've been right in the hunt in every game in the fourth quarter. The only 2 games were Mississippi State last year without KJ, and Georgia, where we just got, smoked to a great Georgia team early in the season. But other than that, we went to Alabama 2 years ago, and we were, right in that game. Even last year, right in the fourth quarter when we came back, we were in that game with Alabama. So he's been ultra competitive. Will this year be different? We may find out on Saturday.
I hope for the sake of Razorback fans, it really is. Sully, as always, we appreciate you joining us. Have a great football weekend and have a lot of fun tonight. I know it's always a good time there on KATV, and we look forward to catching up with you next week, hopefully recapping an upset win and getting ready for A&M.
There you go. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great weekend.
All right, appreciate it. Again, that was Steve Sullivan of KATV joining us here on Out of Bounds. Always good to catch up with Steve Sullivan, and I think that he laid it out pretty descriptively as far as how it's hard to really look at everything that Arkansas is going for them and feel good about them. But these games are really weird sometimes. Who would have guessed last year? It was last season, but Arkansas gave up 38 million points to everybody, but he only gave up 13 to LSU. So it can be a kooky game sometimes, but that's what makes it so entertaining in the series and in the history between these two teams too.
Yeah, it seems to be a game that Arkansas gets up for anytime they can line up against LSU, Texas A&M. A lot of times those teams are stacked with talent, but Arkansas seems to play them well for some reason or another, and those happen to be the next 2 games.
Yep, and we know with this game being in September, it's a weird one. That's never happened before with Arkansas and LSU playing each other in September as far as with Arkansas being part of the SEC. So also a unique little spin on it, but hopefully Arkansas is able to take care of business. Even on the Southern Structural Solutions text line, Doug F. in Little Rock says, I don't know why, but I think this is going to be a breakthrough game for Arkansas. So Foster-Damas prediction. Hogs 24, LSU 21. So says Foster-Damas. So, okay. I think everybody would sign up for that. A victory no matter what. And, of course, he's going with the same theme, a 3-point victory. That's been what the past 3 years would be. Why won't they do it again? Also, from 501, you have saying, I never understood the philosophy of when there is a change in coordinators, why the coaching hire doesn't include the idea of someone continuing a system. it always seems like it's a hard transition, especially if the players aren't put together in a different type of system. Why don't they just run the same thing?
Yeah, well, coaches do different things. They run their own system. So a lot of times it's about the verbiage, the vocabulary that they're using. It's not necessarily the plays. Now, they may implement some new plays, and there are some new philosophies that different coaches bring in. But for the most part, teams run the same plays. It's just a matter of different formations and how they dress the action of what the defense is seeing from an offensive standpoint. And same thing on the defense. They could be doing some of the same things from a defensive standpoint. They just may make it look a little bit different on the field and give you a different look from an opponent standpoint, where you're not able to go back and watch film from last year and a couple of years ago to say that this is what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's not like they're going from running the air raid to the triple option. I mean, it's not that distinctive and extreme of differences of offenses. There's a certain level of variations and differences and slight formation changes, all of that. But at the end of the day, I don't think Dan Enos or Sam Pittman was like, you know what, we had Kendall Briles last year and his philosophy, I'm going to go and hire someone completely opposite and bring him in to coach my quarterback that's been used to this offense and try to teach him an entirely new thing that he can't develop and he can't understand. And then Dan Enos comes in and says, hey, KJ, everything you've learned about football and play calling or offense, forget it because we're changing everything. It's not that extreme. I think that it's just a matter of having slight differences that ends up being a change as far as formations, variations like that, but nothing too extreme. And let's see. Stat says on Southern Structural Solutions second line, not everybody would like a Razorback win. Well, that's true, Stat. We know you wouldn't. We know you wouldn't. You'd be pretty upset by that, and rightfully so. Can totally understand that. But we got to take a break. We're live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Appreciate everybody listening in. Coming out and see us. We'll be here till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Come say hey to us, and we'll get you one of the great food items like a fried pickles or a chips and queso or mozzarella bites. Just say hey. Simple as that. And we're going to get to our picks and a lot more coming up next year on Out of Bounds, broadcasting live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock.
Want to know about bass tournaments and some of the best fishing spots in the state? Well, tune in to Fishing Arkansas Sunday mornings with Big Sarge and his crew. Fishing Arkansas is presented by Fletcher Auto Group, Shelter Insurance Agent Jamie Marsh, Stanley Hardware, and Cooper's Nursery in Cabot. Fishing Arkansas every Sunday morning from 8:30 to 10 on 103.7 The Buzz.
This is Sports Center.
Well, there will be a third and deciding game in the Texas League North Division Series today after the Springfield Cardinals beat the Arkansas Travelers 6-4 last night at Dickey Stevens Park. Connor Hoover was the offensive star for the Travs, going 3 for 4 with an RBI single in the 7th inning for Arkansas's first run of the game. Jake Anchia added an RBI single. Alberto Rodriguez had a 2-run home run. First pitch is set for 6:35 tonight. Stephen Davis will have the call on our sister station, 106.7 Buzz 2, starting at 6:20. Moving to college football, quarterback Jalen Macon went 17 of 29 passing for 227 yards, but it wasn't enough as UAPB lost its SWAC opener last night, 31-24 at Alabama A&M. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
In a world of inflated car payments and sky-high interest, Guadney Buick GMC next to Sam's in North Little Rock is taking their inventory to the nines. Call 501-945-4444. Get Sierra 1500 with the 5.3 V8 engine at just 0.9%. Plus, Guadney will double down with an additional $3,250 off when trading in a 2009 or newer vehicle. Guadney Buick GMC hasn't left out SUVs. Get 2023 GMC Terrain at just 1.9%. Or 2024 Buick Encore GX at just 2.9%. And if you haven't noticed, the holidays are coming. So why not get all the way to 2024 with no payments for the rest of the year? Guadney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Call 501-945-4444. Guadney Buick GMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
Guadney for Buick, Guadney for GMC, Guadney for life. Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side, you'll get MVP service along with the traction and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
At Southern Floor Coating, coatings are all they do, and they won't be beat on price. Factory-trained installers using the purest form of polyurea with UV stability for all your outside projects. When you call, you'll talk with a professional interested in your project, not a voicemail. Don't trust a fly-by-night company that may not be in business next year. Transform your patio, porch, or pool deck and call the real pros at Southern Floor Coating. 501-402-4912 or take a look at southernfloorcoating.com.
The Grove Hunting Club, just a short hour away from Little Rock in Jefferson County. 12,000 acres of waterfowl hunting, a main and secondary lodge, along with 4 private cabins. Call 870-692-3221 or email grovehuntingclub@gmail.com.
At Edwards Food Giant, they know your family is important, and they also know that your time and convenience is as well. So why not take advantage of their heat and eat items in their deli department? Those famous Edwards Food Giant signature dishes with many of the same entrees and recipes that are served daily in the hot bar, all ready to take home and serve to your family tonight. And it can all be found at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is Mexican chicken for only $7.49, paired with roasted corn and black beans for just $4.99.
If you've been married for a while and you want him to get you a bigger diamond, you got to come to Robert Irwin Jewelers. We'll take your old diamond and we'll put it in a beautiful diamond pendant for you for free, and you could wear it around your neck forever. Robert Irwin Jewelers, now open in the Pleasant Ridge Town Center in Little Rock.
Unlike other shows, we don't talk over each other with old hee-haw jokes.
This is bull crap. Well, I ain't standing for this. Go burn in hell. Yeah, lay down.
So call or text to actually be heard on Out of Bounds at 501-661-1037. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
I'm going to stick my dick in the mashed potatoes. Go Hogs.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Give me a man after midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man after midnight. Take me through the darkness to the break of the day. Give me a man after midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man after midnight. Take me through the darkness to the break of the day.
It's Out of Bounds, broadcasting live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Appreciate everybody listening in this afternoon. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, and also gracing us with his presence, Nathan Monan of Monan Industries. What's up, man?
Couldn't sell anything, so I just figured hang out with you guys.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Glad it's like, yeah, you couldn't do your job, so you decided to come over here and
might as
make
well.
it work.
Get
So,
the weekend started early.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least we're not in studio. At least you could come to Twin Peaks.
Also that close to the house. I'm already right here. It's even better.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just excited about this weekend way more than last weekend. The slate of what we get to watch, whether it's Michigan or Arkansas or anybody. I mean, all the games in between, whether it's 11 a.m. or 2:30 or 6:30, you got really good matchups at each slot. I looked. As I was looking through our picks and through some of these matchups, Pac-12 has 6 ranked. At least the ones that I saw.
Yeah.
At least 6 top 25 teams. They're all 3-0. And you've got 2 or 3 of them facing off this weekend.
Yeah, we have some really good matchups that we're going to look at. We didn't pick all the Pac-12 ones, but, yeah, they're loaded. And you know, the wonder is, are you going to have a couple of teams emerge, or are they going to kind of beat
drop
up on each
back
other?
and come back to reality? I think that's going to happen in the SEC as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to see how good Ole Miss is. You get to see out west, you get to see Colorado. I mean, my gut tells me if you go to overtime with Colorado State and then you've got to go to Oregon, you might be in a little bit of trouble. But no matter, they're 3-0, so still without a loss. But I think this is a week that we get to see who's really kind of up for the challenge. And I mean, with the Ohio State Notre Dame game,
Yeah,
we get to see real quick. Hey, who's the contender and who's probably a kind of a playoff favorite, or who's got a lot of work to do and kind of burns their one loss early, and then they got to go the rest of the year. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I was even thinking about, and I don't want to give away the picks because I know we'll get to them, but like Notre Dame has impressed me. Like I honestly thought
Finally got a quarterback.
Yeah, after the Brian Kelly deal and like him leaving, I'm like, okay, maybe there's going to be a drop off or like, but they picked
take
up
a long time to come back. Marcus
Man.
Freeman looks good.
He
He's got him ready to play. And Hartman's seasoned. He's been, played at Wake Forest for a long time, so he's got a lot of experience. But if he comes in, he plays well, and I think this game being at home is a big advantage for them. If they were going to the Shoe and had to play at Ohio State, I'd probably pick Ohio State. I mean, where this game is really important.
Oh yeah, and also just knowing that Ohio State's got a lot of pressure on them. I mean, you've lost twice to Michigan. That can't happen. That's not allowed.
Embarrassed at home.
Yeah,
they fell rear end backwards into the playoff. Most teams don't lose the last game of the season in a pretty big fashion at home.
Yeah,
miss out on their conference championship game, and then still go to the playoff.
Yeah,
that's not usually the template of what happens.
Yeah, because if you also think like how, like with Ohio State, which I guess they gave Ryan Day a raise and extension in the spring. And, I saw Ohio State fans are just like, how do you give a guy a raise and extension losing twice to Michigan? That can't happen.
They won't put up with that for much time at all. I mean,
No.
I think if they lose again to us this year and or this weekend, they go 10-2, they miss out again, that heat on him gets turned up big time.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem, that's for sure. Well, there is a lot of games, not only college but NFL, so let's go ahead and jump into the picks for this weekend.
We're going to start in the ACC with Florida State taking on Clemson. Chris is taking Florida State. Nathan.
That's a hard one to pick. I think the line's real tight. It's at 2. It would probably be closer to a touchdown if Florida State was at home, but they got to go on the road. Clemson's a tough place to play. Dabo's not – I think it'd be foolish to say he's coaching for his job, but things have gotten a little stale at Clemson, and I think they need something to kind of give them a shot in the arm. I think Florida State's the better team. No, I'm Florida State. I think they get it done on the road.
John.
Yeah, man, because I
want to pick Clemson.
I do too.
I think Florida State's a better team.
Pick them because now you got to
better quarterback.
Think about Florida State struggled on the road last week.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Clemson because I want to pick Florida State. I really do. Bet Saracen has Florida State as a 1.5 favorite, but on the road, I still think Dabo and Clemson, even though it's like it is what it is, they still have won championships. He's still a coach that's won multiple championships. So I think Clemson in a close one ends up winning this one. How about you? Do you want to get Kyle? And Kyle, what's your pick, man?
I'll go Florida State.
Florida State. All right, there you go. I'm on my island over here.
Yeah, Florida State. Going Florida State. Auburn at Texas A&M. Chris goes with A&M. Nathan.
Another really good matchup. These are two teams that A&M stumbles early against Miami. People are kind of writing them off a little bit. They come back next couple weeks, look good. Auburn is better than expected in year one, a few frees, but they've still got a backup reject from Michigan State playing quarterback. I don't think they get it done. I think Texas A&M wins at home.
Yeah, give me Texas A&M. As much as I think that it's going to be a close game, I think Bet Saracen has it at 8.5 points right now for Texas A&M and the Aggies. Yeah, give me the Aggies.
Kyle.
I'll go Aggies as well.
There you go.
I think we're going to be Aggies across the board. That's the way we're going to go. Colorado at Oregon. Chris goes with Chris. Did he miss that one?
No. I don't know. No, those are final. Those are
no. I'm not sure he
didn't pick it. Just missed the game.
I think he missed the pick on that. So Nathan, we'll see we'll get with him and see what he says.
Man, Colorado's without their best or second best player, two-way guy. I think they get a little bit of a reality check this week. Oregon, Autzen is a really tough place to play. Give me Oregon by a pretty healthy margin.
John.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oregon too, but I'm not one of these people that's like I've seen so many. I'm not talking about you, Nathan.
You don't think it'll be a blowout?
Just yeah, everyone's like, oh, it's not even going to be close.
Do you think it'll be close?
I think it's going to be close from what people think. I still think Oregon wins, and it's not like, a 1-point game, but I still think Oregon wins, but I don't know. I just always hesitate when everyone's on one to say that's the case.
Fade the news.
Yeah, so give me Oregon.
Kyle.
I think the Colorado Magic runs out this weekend. I'm going to go Oregon.
I'm going to go on the island. I'm going to go
All right.
Colorado.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them because they do have the ability to score. Now, the question is going to be, is Oregon's defense good or, so maybe it's a back and forth type of game.
Surely,
we'll see.
if you're picking Oregon, you'd think they'll win in a shootout.
Colorado, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't think that they're
no way is they going to get a low-scoring game on the road. I think it'll be a shootout if they get a chance.
And so, I am on the island because Chris did go with Oregon. Ole Miss at Alabama. Chris goes with Bama. Nathan.
Oh, man. Bama slips up once. I haven't seen Bama look that bad in 10 years at home. Texas looked like the better team in both halves, no doubt. Conventional thinking says they're going to get it together, but he's kind of struggling with the QB position, not knowing what to do there. Ole Miss can score some points. I like Ole Miss in the upset. Right. Give me Ole Miss on the road.
John.
All right. You know what? If Alabama hadn't lost to Texas at home already, I'd probably be more so. But I just have a hard time thinking Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide are going to lose twice at home.
You would think
in 3
so.
weeks. I would think, but that's where it's like until I see otherwise. I still, and also Ole Miss was and Lane Kiffin kind of baiting Saban a little bit with some of the comments.
Don't poke
week.
the bait.
Yeah.
So he should be smarter than that.
It'll be close, but give me Bama.
So what are you thinking there, Kyle?
I'm going to go Jalen Milroe has a big-time comeback game, and I'm with y'all. I'm with you, John. I don't see it happening to where they lose twice at home.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nathan, you're not on an island. I'm going with Ole Miss also.
They got the QB that's throwing it around. McJuck. I mean, they've got a lot of firepower on offense. Again, I think this is not going to be something where it's going to be low scoring. If Ole Miss needs to win this, they got to score. They got to get to 35 points.
Yeah. That's how it's going to go. The offenses, they're going to go at it. I think the defenses may struggle in this one. Arkansas at LSU. Chris is going LSU 28-21. Nathan.
Man, it's hard to be excited after what just a big letdown last week. Yeah, I got LSU. I want the Hogs to keep it close in the first half, at least competitive. Don't keep it a game going into the second half. But I got LSU 31-21.
John.
I also have LSU winning this game, and I don't think that 17.5 points at Saracen. I don't think it's going to be that. And you got almost exactly
Same
what
thing,
I have,
really.
except I have 31-20. LSU taking care of business, but I think LSU gets a late touchdown to pull away and be 2-possession game, and then that's how they lose.
Kyle.
This is going to be one that we are very excited about the Razorbacks' performance because they do bounce back, but they do not get the win, LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Got LSU also. So we're LSU across the board. Got the score at 27-17. Oregon State at Washington State. Chris goes Washington State. Nathan.
Another.
This is going to be a really good game.
Both teams 3-0, and both have looked good so far. The quarterback at Clemson is now in charge at Oregon State. I'm not even going to try to pronounce Ugalele.
Mm-hmm. Close enough.
But
Ugalele.
Give me the Cougars and Washington State.
John.
Yeah, oh man. You know what? I got to go with Washington State as well. They got a good offense, and of course, having an experienced quarterback back there is always going to be helpful, and being the home team. So yeah, give me Washington State and the Cougs.
Kyle.
Wazoo.
Easy enough.
Wow. We're Washington State across the board.
That's
surprising.
underdogs.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Oregon State is favored on the road, and we're going with the home dogs.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Chris goes with Ohio State. Nathan.
Ooh. I think we're gonna see Ohio State stumble and struggle to score points. I think Marvin Harrison will have a few plays that everybody's eyes get wide on. You're like, oh my goodness, this is an NFL receiver playing in college right now. But I think Notre Dame this is a big game for them. They got to find a way to kind of make a big splash win to get back in the conversation, get people believing back in Notre Dame, and they're at home. Give me Notre Dame in a very close one.
John.
Oh yeah, I'm with Nathan too. I like Notre Dame. I like the Irish. I like what they're doing here early. And even though, at least at this point in time, Saracen has them as 3.5-point underdogs at home, I think they get the victory. Go Irish.
Kyle.
Yeah, give me Marcus Freeman and the Irish. I really like what he's doing.
Look at this.
What? Seeing Ohio State go down.
We're about to put Chris on Ohio State Island.
Wow.
Yeah, going Notre Dame.
That's awesome.
Man, isn't that crazy? I mean, this is a playoff team. This is a team that had Georgia beat in the playoff down to a field goal. I mean, Ohio State's still got a ton of guys. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and it's always next man up with them.
It's surprising that everybody's off them.
Titans at Browns. Chris goes with the Browns. Nathan.
Switching gears. Man, the Browns have not impressed me. Deshaun's looking – he's struggling big time.
Struggling.
You know what, though? But they got to win in the first game, and, second game could have gone either way, even with his struggles.
Titans are good at finding ways to win, and with the loss of Chubb, that's I don't think you can state that enough. Give me the Titans on the road getting a win in Cleveland.
John.
Yeah, Titans are 3.5-point underdogs according to Saracen, but I'm also taking the Titans on the road. Give me Tennessee.
Kyle.
Tennessee.
Going Titans also, so we put Chris on another island. Chris is on Browns Island. So
he's getting
you know what,
these islands, but he's getting the team that's favored.
Yeah. Exactly. And so if these games go his way, man, he's gonna really get up there in the standings. Falcons at Lions. Chris goes with the Lions. Nathan.
Got to bounce back. We're at home. Really had a big disappointing loss last week. I thought we would pull it out. They got scared. They settled for the field goal at the end of the game. Didn't try to punch it in. When you settle for field goals, you lose. So lost C.J. Gardner to a torn pec. He's out for the whole year, which stinks. But
that's a terrible injury.
It's awful. And it was a great signing, and he was making plays first couple weeks. But I do think we bounce back, although the Falcons have looked pretty good so far this year.
John.
Yeah, I am also going to go with the Lions, a 3-point favorites at home, according to Saracen, but I like Detroit to bounce back. Give me the Lions.
Kyle.
Yeah, I'm going to go Detroit as well. I love Dan Campbell, and I like what they're doing.
Okay, so I'm on the island this time. Going with the Falcons on the road to stay undefeated. Saints at Packers. Chris goes with Packers. Nathan.
That's a tough one to pick. Packers have looked probably a little better than what people thought they would, but so have the Saints. The Saints have looked good. They're undefeated. Give me the Packers. They're at home. Give me the Packers.
John.
Yeah, Packers favored by 1.5 at home, and I think they're going to win in Lambeau.
Kyle.
Yeah, they're at Lambeau. I'm going to go Packers.
We're Packers across the board. That's a little surprising, too. Chargers at Vikings. Chris goes Vikings. Nathan.
Man, both these teams need a win in a bad
way. They're both 0-2. So one of these teams is going to be 0-3.
Vikings win the NFC North last year, 13-14 wins. They're really struggling out of the gate. No Dalvin. Signing Cam Akers, looking a little I mean, they're searching for some answers right now. Vikings are at home. Give me the Vikings to get their first win at home.
John.
So, according to Saracen, this game's a pickle, and rightfully so. But I'm going to go with the road team. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think they go into Minnesota and win.
Kyle.
Yep, give me the Chargers as well.
All right. Going with the Vikings, so we're pretty split on that one, and for good reason. Patriots at Jets. Chris going Patriots. Nathan.
Another two teams also that have really struggled coming out of the gates. They haven't started well.
This should be a defensive game, too.
It will be low score. Take the under. Not that I think the Jets have any sort of crazy home field advantage, but no, I still can't pick Zach Wilson. Give me the Patriots.
John.
Patriots. Now you're thinking about it.
Kyle.
Yeah, I'm going to go Patriots too.
Wow, we're Patriots across the board.
36 points, by the way, the over-under.
All right, Sunday Night Football, Steelers at Raiders. Chris goes Steelers. Nathan.
Steelers pull out a good win. Needed. Raiders are not looking great. So this is kind of a hard one. Give me the Steelers on going out West Coast to get the win.
John.
Yeah, they got the Raiders favored by 2.5 at home, but Yeah, I think the Steelers win, and they win ugly. It's kind of like they did against the Browns, so give me the Steelers.
Kyle.
I'm just going to go with the home team and go Raiders on this one.
Thank you, Kyle. Going Steelers. So Kyle is on Raiders Island.
All right, there you have it. There are our picks for the weekend of football, and it's past time for us to take a break as we're live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Be out here until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Take our break. When we come back, we'll get to more of the game recap and look ahead to the weekend and tell you more about the great things happening at Twin Peaks. It's all next here on Out of Bounds, so stay with us.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle and waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Greenway is your local source for John Deere equipment and implements. Now, we've made finding the perfect piece of equipment even easier. Shop our tractor packages online at gogreenway.com. Till deeper with our down-to-earth package. Or save big with our Green Saver package. Need something with a little more muscle? Kick it up a notch with Greenway's Get In Gear package. We're here to support the DIYer in you. No matter what project comes your way, Greenway has you covered.
Watney Chevrolet in Jacksonville is going beyond the competition to change your current vehicle situation with Watney's exclusive loan and lease termination program.
I need your current payment, your keys, and your signature.
Call 501-982-2102 and say hasta la vista to your current ride and payment with the help of Watney's loan and lease termination program, regardless of your current financial situation.
I swear I will approve everyone.
Rates as low as 0% on new Chevrolets. Trade now and terminate your payments until 2024.
Get to Guatney now!
The loan and lease termination program is this month only at Guatney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 501-982-2102. GuatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. All offers with approved credit. All voices are impersonators, but Guatney's the real thing.
Shop Guatney Chevrolet once, and you'll be back.
My brother-in-law died
For
suddenly.
more than a century, Arkansans have come to Oaklawn to play, to bet, and to win. Now, we're coming to you. Introducing Oaklawn Sports, the new mobile betting app from Oaklawn. Bet anywhere in Arkansas. Download the app on Apple and Google Play and take advantage of first bet insurance up to $250. Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's trusted brand. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-449-8811. That's 1-800-449-8811. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-449-8811. That's 1-800-449-8811.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
We're back with Wild Bill at Motorsports Authority. Great selection here on the left, but what about my trade-in, Wild Bill?
We'll trade for just about anything as long as you don't have to feed it. We'll put top dollar in that trade. I'm getting country fried crazy there in this sale right now, and I'll tell you what, folks, it's a lot of fun to do business with us. So if you're wanting top dollar for your trade, you need to come see us.
You can check out the complete selection online at msastore.com. Better yet, come see us in Russellville on East Main and Hot Springs on Central. You better get down here to Motorsports Authority.
Hot touchdown.
It's not just about the size of the meat, it's about where you get it from. So get it from Hogs Meat Market in North Little Rock. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Hey! Turn that damn jukebox
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Took a little letter about 107 down.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue in Little Rock and North Little Rock. It's time for another Corky's Ribs and Barbecue customer review. Corky's, you've got the secret to world peace. It's in your ribs. Every bite is a step closer to global harmony. I propose we have Corky's Barbecue at every negotiation. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue in Little Rock and North Little Rock.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle and waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Greenway is your local source for John Deere equipment and implements. Now, we've made finding the perfect piece of equipment even easier. Shop our tractor packages online at gogreenway.com. Till deeper with our down-to-earth package. Or save big with our Green Saver package. Need something with a little more muscle? Kick it up a notch with Greenway's Get In Gear package. We're here to support the DIYer in you. No matter what project comes your way, Greenway has you covered.
No matter what you do.
Oh, you were finished.
We can't be stopped.
Oh, well, allow me to retort.
103.7 The Buzz.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
A former nurse at the Baxter County Detention Center was arrested, accused of being sexually inappropriate with female inmates. 39-year-old Samuel Sparks of Mountain Home was arrested on felony sexual assault charges. The sheriff's office says they received a complaint about Samuel this August, where at least 3 inmates claimed he was sexually inappropriate during physical exams. Spark denied the accusations, but was fired by the sheriff's office that month. He surrendered to the jail Thursday afternoon and was released after posting a $5,000 bond. He'll appear in court on September 25th. Members from Central Arkansas Water met with constituents about improvements being made at Lake Maumelle. One of the biggest concerns they wanted to address was around a harmful plant species called hydrilla. Raven Lawson with Central Arkansas Water tells us they first spotted hydrilla in 2017. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
103.7 The Buzz is proud to bring you college football talk with Mark May every Thursday morning on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by Edwards Food Giant, The Meat People, and by Dugan's Pub, located in the River Market.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Better rain chances today, a 40% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms through the day, a high around 84 degrees. Those showers and storms wrap up this evening. Not much of a rain chance Saturday. Good rain chances back Sunday. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel. Dinner for 2 for $60. Split a 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, and our famous salad bar.
Catch Pat Bradley on Morning Mayhem, presented by Bradford Marine and ATV. Bradford Marine and ATV are huge supporters of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue going on this weekend in Northwest Arkansas. Visit Bradford Marine and ATV and check out the Can-Am Riker motorcycle. Stop by today for the best in-store inventory at discount prices.
Pat Bradley for Brewskis. Razorback fans, this Saturday night at 6 p.m., Arkansas travels to LSU. Plenty of TVs at Brewskis. The legendary Brewskitron, not a bad seat in the house. Enjoy drink specials all game as you grub out in the best game day food in the city with plenty of options for everyone. Stick around after the game for Saturday night karaoke in the bar at 9 p.m. and J.J. Wilson, the DJ, in the basement playing a live open DJ set till 2 a.m. For more info, VIP section, BrewskiesPubandGrub.com. Brewskis, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. We are Big O Tires. However, we might as well go by Big O Tires, alignments, batteries, brakes, oil changes, suspensions, and free visual inspection upon arrival, because we do all that and more. But that name seems a little long and it won't fit on our sign. Now at Big O Tires in Conway and Cabot, take $100 off select sets of tires. That's right, save $100 right now off select sets of tires and get tires, service, and straight talk at Big O Tires.
Are you ready for the biggest party of the year? Nickelback with a live show unlike any other. September 25th, Simmons Bank Arena. Nickelback, the Get Rollin' Tour with Brantley Gilbert and Josh Ross. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Get rolling and get your tickets now.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Matt Warden in Little Rock, Seth Hobbs in Bryant, or Nick Gennardi in Sherwood.
In a world of inflated car payments and sky-high interest, Guadney Buick GMC next to Sam's in North Little Rock is taking their inventory to the nines. Call 501-945-4444. Get Sierra 1500 with the 5.3 V8 engine at just 0.9%. Plus, Guadney will double down with an additional $3,250 off when trading in a 2009 or newer vehicle. Guadney Buick GMC hasn't left out SUVs. Get 2023 GMC Terrain at just 1.9%. Or 2024 Buick Encore GX at just 2.9%. And if you haven't noticed, the holidays are coming. So why not get all the way to 2024 with no payments for the rest of the year? Guadney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Call 501-945-4444. GuatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
Guatney for Buick, Guatney for GMC, Guatney for life.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: getting projects done right with Behr Premium Plus interior paint and football. That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. And with Behr's wall-to-wall coverage and long-lasting durable finish, you'll spend less time worrying about your walls, which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Behr and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free fix finder service can help find the fix for free. Get in the zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right, printed and on your phone for free. Get in the zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix finder, only at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
I don't have an update on his status, but I can tell you that he's really ran well yesterday and progressing faster than what I thought he might. And but I don't know whether he'll be able to play or not.
And then you have an update on Tank Booker as well?
He's going to practice today. You know, those knees are sore. He's had problems in the past with them, but he'll be full go today at practice.
Yeah.
With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We won't go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I know that it's good. Would you say that on my taste buds? I get way too busy. Would you let me do the extras? Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in the spiral.
2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, Nathan Monin, broadcasting live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. We got Kyle Sutherland back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you as always for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It's been an easy Friday show. We just have an hour left. So if you're trying to get the weekend started early, come on out here to Twin Peaks, as it is happy hour right now. Already got a good crowd coming in here, and seeing a few people stopping by and saying what's up. When you say what's up to us, it gets you a choice of a free fried pickle or free chips and queso, or free mozzarella bites. So
can't beat that.
I mean, listen, it's you got your choice. Even though I prefer the mozzarella bites, they're some of the best you'll ever get.
See, I'm a big fried pickles guy.
Yeah,
I love fried
I
pickles.
love them both.
Yes. You're like, don't get me wrong. I'll eat any.
I'll eat them all.
Chips and queso, everything is good.
Yeah. So if you give me a choice, though,
There you
definitely
go.
going with the fried cheese. Can't go wrong with it. But yeah, it's good being out here though, because football season being here in full swing, and the amount of TVs that they have and the atmosphere that they have, especially on game days for Saturdays and for Sundays and Fridays and Mondays and Thursdays, when every day of the week pretty much this is the place to be here at Twin Peaks.
Well, and a lot of places when you think about going to watch a game or going to get together with the guys or whatever, you always think in your back of your mind, you're like, oh, it's going to be too crowded. I don't know if we can get in. This place is huge. There's more than enough space here. You really don't have to worry about that. They got a huge patio area. They got tons of stuff inside. And it's not like, well, we got to get a seat by the TV.
Nope.
You get two TVs inside the booths. You get them up front. I mean, there's not a place in here that you can't see a TV.
Yeah,
from.
they're everywhere. And then happy hours 2 to 7. You have Bourbon and Brews. That's 5 to 7. And then Sam Adams October Steinfest starts at 6. So you're going to have 3 different specials of things to choose from going on at the same time. So you're going to be able to get something at a discount at a good price here at Twin Peaks, and they have daily, weekly specials. So they always are taking care of you and giving you some kind of deal here at Twin Peaks.
That's why we love coming out here and being a part of it each and every month here on Out of Bounds. So again, come out and see us. We'll be out till 4:00 this afternoon, but stop by anytime at Twin Peaks, and you're always going to have a good time. That is for sure.
I know we'll get we'll get the lowdown whenever Double R comes on after this and Barry Grooms. But Kyle, what's the marquee matchup for high school football to watch out for this week?
Well, in Central Arkansas, it's definitely Little Rock Christian PA. I think Southwest has a chance to be competitive with Conway tonight, but I'm not quite sure Southwest is just there, as far as on Conway's level. But, man, there's a lot across the state. Also in Northwest Arkansas, a couple of marquee matchups. But around here, it's definitely PA and Little Rock Christian.
If you've got to put $5 on it, which way you leaning? You think
give us the spread.
You think PA or Little Rock Christian? I mean, good grief. Picking against PA is probably ill-advised any time, but Little Rock Christian's got a squad. They got an SEC quarterback, and I mean, I think it'll be close, won't it?
You would think. Of course, PA's won the last 5 and have dominated it pretty much. I mean, that's the word to describe it, I would think, is Little Rock Christian beat them in 2018 for the state championship. Then Little Rock Christian won the regular season matchup in 2019. Since then, PA's won the last 5 times, and it's just really tough. I'm not picking a winner because I'm calling this game tonight, but so I better go the Kirk Herbstreit safe route.
Sure,
yeah. I definitely think it's going to be very competitive, and Sully made a great point. Walker White and that senior class, they do not want to go out without not beating PA.
Where's it at?
Little Rock Christian.
It's at Little Rock Christian.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be a great matchup, and I hope Southwest gets rolling. I mean, obviously you're going against Buck James and Conway. They got a machine over there, and Southwest is brand new school, and so you got to give it a little bit of time for them to get some continuity. But man, those facilities down there are second to none. That stuff's top class.
Yeah, there's always
it is, and they've.
Go ahead, Kyle.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, they have definitely. They went from the dead tee to the spread offense, which is what Daryl Patton won 4 state championships with. So they're definitely on their way up.
Yeah, that's what's crazy is because I think back speaking to Daryl Patton. He coached Fayetteville forever when I was up there. Fayetteville hadn't won a state championship in 100 and some odd years.
Long
time, and then suddenly he gets in there, and his first year they almost won state, but Woody Wilson got hurt, their quarterback. But still, he won a few state title games, so the guy can coach everywhere he goes.
No doubt. I was in the office earlier, and I came across a tweet from Brian Cox, who's Bernie Cox's son. 20 years ago, 2003, Central Tigers 14-0
on top of the world.
I worked with Clark Irwin over at Colliers. He was a quarterback for that team.
Yeah,
I showed him the team picture, and he goes, "Oh man, where'd you find that?" I mean, he was pointing out different guys. He goes, "He went and played here. He went." Yeah. I mean, just running through the list of a bunch of college players that they had on that team. And I wish Central would come back and start. I mean, they've been really, really struggling the past couple of years. I wish they could kind of right the ship and turn it around.
Turnover in coaching, and then facilities not up to date now.
Aren't they?
They're doing something about that now, where they're trying to get it going. They're doing some construction and trying to get on par with everybody else around the state. So hopefully that'll help actually get the players on the field, because they have players at school. Most of them aren't playing. They're walking around the hallways.
Basketball,
or
too.
They're playing basketball.
That basketball team's legit. Did I see a kind of a breaking news? Honor Boateng?
Honor Boateng, and forgive me if I mispronounce his name. He committed to Mizzou.
Yeah, like that. Yep, Mizzou.
He's going from
one of the best
one set of Tigers to another set of Tigers.
Well, you got some Central Tiger connections there with Houston Nutt's brother.
Exactly.
So and the coach at Missouri, that basketball coach, is doing really well. I mean, he started out, I think it's his second year there, but he's looking really good. I mean, if he's pulling some of the top players out of Arkansas, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, because that was a big thing about him, is figuring out, because he brought a lot of his players from Cleveland State over to where they were at in the transfer portal. People kept wondering, so how is it going to work once those players are gone? But, if you can continue to recruit and everything,
get some momentum, just keep it rolling.
Yeah. The guy can coach, and he's one of the better dressed coaches too.
There you go.
Still puts that suit on.
Gotta look good. I mean, if you play good, you gotta look good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We would have thought after COVID that now it's about coaches that are wearing suits being a big deal.
It's all cyclical. All these trends, they come and go. I mean, they coaches go from wearing suit and tie to the. I was watching Winning Time with. I hate that they're not continuing it on HBO, but Pat Riley with the slick back hair, the Armani suits. I mean, that used to be in style. Now they're wearing just kind of khakis and a polo with trainers, just tennis shoes. But different strokes, different folks. Everybody's got a little bit different style.
Yeah, I don't think anyone. I don't know. The one about that's changes. I don't think anyone's going to go back into doing suits by a large
margin.
margin.
No.
They're not comfortable. They're awful.
Yeah, I mean, football coaches used to wear suits.
And everyone needs to stay away from the PJ Fleck style of a half zip with a full tie, a necktie going. I mean, I can't imagine that is comfortable.
No, I wouldn't think so either. But it is amazing, though, that when I think about that, though, that's the coach I think of because he's the only one that does it. So it's like, at least,
man.
yeah,
That's ridiculous.
At least he has that going for him.
Hey, he has to stand out some kind of way.
Oh, he is. He's standing out, no doubt.
Yeah, it's kind of like the sweater vest. I always thought of Jim Tressel.
Yeah,
but
don't even get me started.
I know. I'm just saying. But then, like Gus Malzahn tried to make it a thing too.
And the visor.
Yeah, and then the visor going
Yep.
along with it.
Oh,
so, yeah, coaches just sometimes they go like, 'cause even Bill Belichick, man, that guy with his whatever you want to call
the tattered shirts that he's wearing to the press conference. And
So at first he would start off cutting the sleeves, and now I think they just make the top like that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's just like, listen, coach, if you're gonna wear that, might as well
It's
make
like, hey,
one for it.
we can make it look a little bit better than
Exactly.
He obviously he does not care one way or the other. He's like, all right, this is what I'll wear.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, why would you? I saw, was it maybe D2 football or D3 football? I was trying to think, but anyways, it was just the other day. There was a coach that literally had it was like a tank top. Like it was literally
Pat McAfee style.
Like literally Pat McAfee style. Like I'm not even kidding. I even think it was a zip. So it was like zip halfway down, tank top, and it just his
I gotta
arms
see
out.
this.
I gotta look it up.
He wanted to stand out too.
He's standing out.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, if you're gonna be if it's like, especially if you're hot weather, like like if it's really hot outside, maybe you don't have the air conditioned vents or whatever fans that are out there too. Like maybe that's what you got to do. But yeah, I got to look that guy up because that cracked me. I was like, man, that guy's got an energy.
You got to wear something like that.
Yeah, he's got to have an energy there too.
I think my alma mater goes down to Arkadelphia. Big D2 matchup. Harding plays Henderson State. That's always a good game.
Harding is always good.
Yeah. Oh, they've got that niche rolling. I mean, they run the triple as good as anybody in the country, I would say, and it's just so hard. I mean, you can't just prepare for that for 1 week and hope to stop it. You got to I mean, that's year round. You got to know, hey, whenever they're on the schedule, you got to be ready for them, right? Because if you're not prepared, it's just death by 1,000 cuts if you're not making the right reads.
They have a great home field advantage too. Really get the crowd going.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm looking over here trying to find this outfit.
Yeah, you got to find that. I got to look at that.
I thought, yeah, it's pretty sure that somebody's got it over there. But yeah, I got to find this too. That was so good.
So in the meantime, Steve King, he dropped by earlier and he had a few questions for us. He says, are these the right assistant coaches in place on Arkansas staff? What are our thoughts on that?
Line coaches catching some heat.
Yeah,
probably rightfully so. They do not look good. No. If you can't consistently run the ball against Kent State, you got some problems. And I know it's early; it's only week 3, and that's all well and good. But guys, you've had a whole off season. I mean, you should have been preparing for this. And sometimes you think you have something in a unit or a specific set of guys that you've got, and turns out they're not quite as good as you thought they would be. But that's what coaching is. It's all about making adjustments. And hey, this is what we thought we had. Well, we actually have this, so let's try to do the best that we can with it.
Another one he has here. He says, "Where will Arkansas be in 3 years?" So
in the Big 12.
Yeah, I don't think they're giving out any more early extensions.
No. Nor should they.
No.
I mean, you're in year 4, and as you said, and I don't think anybody is expecting, at least they shouldn't be. I'm the biggest Razorback fan there is, but no one's expecting to be like, okay, you got to go and get you 10, 11 wins. Like it's nothing like that. I've always looked at it for the expectation for a place like Arkansas is like, hey, you win 7-8 games usually on average, or at least get to that point, and then once every 4 or 5 years, you get to that 9-10 win year. Like that's kind of what I think most people are expecting. But what people will not like is when you're playing a team like a BYU at home and then you lose, because you beat yourself. That's the type of stuff that's going to get you out of here quicker.
You go into the year with some confidence and you're feeling good about it. Hey, we can win 8 games, maybe 9 if we catch one here. And then within 3 weeks, you're tapering those expectations. Not maybe 7. I mean, you're cutting them in half almost. Now you're just you're clawing and scrapping to make a bowl game, and it's tough. It's an uphill battle, especially with the schedule and the conference they play in. But that's why those wins are valuable. And when you got a good chance at home, you got to take it.
Steve says overall support Sam Pittman, and hopefully be competing for SEC title in 2 to 3 years. So that's what the goal is always going to be.
I mean, if it's competing for an SEC title, I mean, that's going to be even
That's pretty
tougher
lofty.
to do. But I mean, then again, like, who knows what Alabama's going to look like? Because Nick Saban's going to have to retire at some point. I'm not saying that they'll go to be terrible, but it's just like, there's an uncertainty there, and it looks like Texas and Oklahoma are going to be joining.
People forget that Alabama hasn't always been like this. You go back to the early 2000s, late 90s, they were looking awful.
Go back to before Saban was there.
Right.
Yeah, Mike Shua, Mike Dubose. What was it, Mike Price? The guy was there for like 2 seconds, but used a credit card for the wrong things.
But
yeah,
from my estimation, what I've seen so far is, and I don't want anybody reading into this the wrong way, SEC doesn't look as formidable as it usually does. It looks like they're down. It looks like a lot of these teams are a little bit more gettable, and there's not usually there's about 2 or 3 different juggernauts throughout the entirety of college football. It's like, hey, these are the top dogs, and they're going to roll through everything.
It's more spread out.
There's a little bit more parity. I think there's probably a dozen different teams that have legitimate shots at making the playoff. There's usually, I think, half that, about 5 or 6 that you're like, it's kind of between these. I think it's pretty wide open right now, and that's if you're a team like the Razorbacks, I think that's a good thing because, hey, let us in. Let's try to be a part of the conversation, since some of these teams have regressed and kind of come back down to earth a little bit. But
we're getting to look at what playoff expansion should be ahead of playoff expansion.
Yeah,
that's right.
See, that to me is the best thing that could happen for a team like Arkansas, and a lot of teams like Arkansas, is that, before, if you lost one game, you had 0 shot of winning a championship. Like, that's the mentality.
2 teams, BCS, it's like, hey.
Yeah, that's it. And even now, it's like 4 teams is better, but once you get to 12 teams, you can go 10-2 and get into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, especially with the schedule that the Hogs will have. If you go 10-2, I bet they'll be in.
Yeah, and, I mean, it feels like it's got that type of thing where, and if you get in, not saying you'll win, but it's playoff football. You could have your chances there. But
progress is progress, no matter how big or how small. You just got to keep making those small steps to keep pushing the ball up the hill.
Yeah, but is it going to be Sam Pittman that does it? Is it going to have to be somebody else that does it? Is
one step forward, 2 steps back? You want to make sure overall you're still moving forward and not getting too stagnant.
Yeah, because there's a lot of teams out there, even in the SEC. People keep thinking, is Lane Kiffin? How long is he going to be around at Ole Miss? Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought he'd be gone already, to be honest.
I did too, because his track record and precedents say he didn't stay anywhere for that long.
The money keeps rolling in, though. And that's the thing with coaches now. They don't have to move around for money. They can stay put and get the money.
True.
It's just about, do they like the overall situation?
Well, and a lot of it's expectations. If you're at USC and you're not winning big time, they're gonna get rid of you quick. Ole Miss expectations are probably a little bit different than USC expectations, but right fit for the right coach. But he's looking good so far. I think this game against Bama is going to show us a lot.
Also with Lane Kiffin too, though, is like, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but I feel like the best he's ever going to do is what we saw at Ole Miss a couple years ago when they went 10-2 and went to the Sugar Bowl. I mean, I feel like he's probably hit the peak there at Ole Miss, and at some point, I don't know, maybe it's got to be the right job, maybe it's got to be the right circumstance, but somebody's going to come in there that gives him some sort of really good thing going for where they're at. And some people said Alabama whenever Nick Saban leaves on, will they hire him? I don't know, but at some point,
it's got to be somebody.
Yeah,
when Saban leaves, it's got to be somebody. But who would you say is caught your attention, or maybe the top 2 or 3 candidates for Heisman right now?
For Heisman, Caleb Williams, the defending champ
could be the first back-to-back in a long time.
Defending winner there. And then, you have to look at Shedeur Sanders. He's leading the country in all categories.
No doubt.
When it comes to passing. So Travis Hunter, maybe because he's going to be out a few games, he takes a step back. But what he's done to this date, then he's in the running for it.
I think you've got probably 2 or 3 quarterbacks with big games this weekend that could really
Sam Hartman
elevate. Mm-hmm. Sam Hartman's a big one.
He's going to be my
pick. Could really elevate kind of the conversation around him. I think what's the kid at Florida State? Jordan Travis.
Yep,
he's another one. Got a really big win early and looked really good. If they do it again this week against at Clemson, that even furthers your conversation. Hog fans probably won't like hearing this, but even
Jaden Daniels.
No, yeah.
He could absolutely kind of wiggle his way into there. And then Texas as well.
When Ewers.
Ewers, he's right up there too.
I was going to throw in even, make sure I say it right, Penix.
Washington.
From, Washington.
Absolutely.
So, because I was looking at him because I thought he was leading the country in passing.
They throw it all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, he's got already over 1,300 yards.
I wish it was a little bit less of the best quarterback on the best team award, but that's just kind of what it is turned into. But
yeah.
But quarterback's most important position. It's hard to argue it, but I'm sure there's been over the course some defensive players that were every bit as good as anybody else, but it's just hard to get a look when you're on the other side of the ball.
Adamaka Suh was one of those, man.
No doubt.
I thought he deserved it, but I don't think.
Manti Te'o.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Michigan's had a couple. Jabril Peppers and Aiden Hutchinson both got invited to New York.
Exactly.
They weren't going to win.
And then Charles Woodson won.
That's right.
Yeah. And because Te'o was the year that Manziel won it. I believe.
That's right.
Yeah. Because that was in that Manziel documentary. I was like, man, what a weird time looking back on that.
That is strange. Yeah. With some hindsight there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What was it? Manziel had like 58 total touchdowns that year or something.
Man, that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous numbers out of him too. So,
but Tebow had a year like that where he had 30 and 20. So yeah, he put up some numbers too.
Yeah. Well, because everyone talked about Tebow. It's like, oh, it was like 1 yard rushes or whatever touchdowns. It's like still got in the end zone.
I know. Still 6 points.
Yeah, it still counted there. But yeah, Manziel was there. And Jick Jack, real quick, as I know we're about to be up against it here. But on our Southern Structural Solutions text line, he says, I'm still on Coach Pittman's bandwagon. Let's learn from the Hogs. Went through against BYU and not beat ourselves. Let's have smart play calling and no penalties. Go Hogs, hog freaking wild. So I think the whole no penalties thing is a lot easier said than done. But yeah, I can't have 14. How about that? Just don't have 14 penalties.
Well, especially from upperclassmen. Come on, these guys know better. It's easy to say don't get any penalties. It's hard to do it.
Well, especially at home too.
At home, I mean, if you're getting that many penalties at home and now you're going down to the LSU, this is not boding well. I mean, we got to tighten some things up.
Yeah. Well, as we had Josh Braun on earlier this week, and the offensive lineman for Arkansas, and he kind of put it into perspective for an offensive lineman. He says that he and other offensive linemen enjoy playing on the road more because they say that when the noise is so loud, he's like, then you just focus in on the one thing, because it's like you can't afford to say, okay, what's the linebacker doing? It's just like you just focus in. You have to
get locked in a little
on
bit
only
better.
what you're doing. So I was like, that's kind of an interesting output where
player
it's like it
perspective.
Yeah, it forces you to say, hey, this you got to
easy
do this.
for all of us to say from our couches and televisions, but
yeah. I mean, when there's 100,000 people there, in Death
probably a
Valley.
little bit harder.
Yeah, I would think so. But we have a commercial break coming up, but we're live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. Come out to see us. Going to be out here till 4 o'clock this afternoon. And happy hour is going strong here.
Come on out.
Yeah, we're having a good time about it. And we're going to also have some things to talk about from Razorbacks and looking at some of the spreads too. We'll have 3 and outs. We have a lot more fun coming up here on an Easy Friday show on Out of Bounds. So stay with us.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drop Top Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
This is Sports Center.
Well, there will be a third and deciding game in the Texas League North Division Series today after the Springfield Cardinals beat the Arkansas Travelers 6-4 last night at Dickey-Stevens Park. Connor Hoover was the offensive star for the Travs, going 3 for 4 with an RBI single in the 7th inning for Arkansas's first run of the game. Jake Anchia added an RBI single. Alberto Rodriguez had a 2-run home run. First pitch is set for 6:35 tonight. Stephen Davis will have the call on our sister station, 106.7 Buzz 2, starting at 6:20. Moving to college football, quarterback Jalen Macon went 17 of 29 passing for 227 yards, but it wasn't enough as UAPB lost its SWAC opener last night, 31-24 at Alabama A&M. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
I know the last 3 years people have got accustomed to paying sticker price for a brand new vehicle. Well, it's not that way anymore at Red River Ram. If you're looking for a new Ram truck, we've got heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks starting at $49,500 or up to $12,000 off sticker price for a Cummins diesel. And we've got $11,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorn 4-wheel drive trucks. If you want the best selection and the best buying experience, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Now during Ram Power Days.
Bank OZK has always strived for excellence. During every economic storm, through every season of hardship, and despite every obstacle, we've reached for greater. Because we know to achieve excellence, you've got to keep pushing, keep building, keep growing, and just keep going. At Bank OZK, we're reaching for greater heights so you can be greater than you can imagine. Visit a branch or OZK.com today. Bank OZK. Greater awaits. Member FDIC.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Joe Potenzano is 93 years old and has never been married. About a year ago, he thought of his longtime friend Mary Elkind and decided to call her. What began with a cup of coffee is turning into an October the 15th wedding. Joe said, "In my case, it's literally true. You only get married once. This is a marriage that will last for my lifetime." I guess what they say is true. When you find a former Radio City Music Hall professional dancer available at the age of 83, you marry her. Here's wishing Joe and Mary much happiness. Whether you're a bachelor or betrothed, Double B's has got something for you and your bride. If you're in Clinton or Cabot, stop by for some Baskin-Robbins ice cream, which will strengthen any marriage. Double B's. Before you gas it, grab it and go. That's Double B's.
Erectile dysfunction is a very serious medical issue. It affects over 60% of men over 45. This can be caused from low testosterone, high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate issues, and high cholesterol. The staff at the Little Rock Men's Clinic are specialists in treating these issues. Our medical specialists will determine your specific problem and develop a treatment plan for your specific needs. Our treatments have helped thousands of men with a 96% success rate. Call the Little Rock Men's Clinic at 501-382-9516. For September, our office visit is only $79. That includes your exam, blood work, and testos. If our specialist can't prove to you that the treatment works, your office visit is absolutely free.
I am 58 years old. I have more energy, and I am performing like I am 21 again. I feel amazing.
Come to the Little Rock Men's Clinic. We treat low T, ED, Peyronie's disease, and offer a male enhancement procedure. Call the Little Rock Men's Clinic at 501-382-9516. That's 501-382-9516. Or visit littlerockmensclinic.com.
There's only one place to stop for the best in meats in Central Arkansas. It's Hogs Meat Market. Check out their monthly package deals of the best meats online at hogsmeatmarket.com. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
How's my protege? Jeremy. Yeah. Boy, J-Bone. J-Bone is, believe it or not, he's getting married. What? What an idiot. Oh, what a loser. Good. More for me and you.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
It's Out of Bounds here on an easy Friday show, but as easy as today's show is, it's not as easy as getting a great deal and a great vehicle from Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville, because right now through the month of September, they are going above and beyond the competition to cancel all the unwanted loans and leases with their Gwatney exclusive loan and lease termination program. So you will not want to miss this opportunity to get out of the vehicle that you don't want to be in and get in the vehicle that you want with Gwatney Chevrolet. And that's during the month of September. Everybody will be approved. And you also know with Gwatney Chevrolet that you could benefit from having no car payments for the rest of the year. That's what Gwatney gives you. No car payments for the entire rest of the year. And another thing, let's just throw this in here. How about a new Silverado, brand new 2023 Silverado, 0% financing with approved credit. On top of that, with no payments for the rest of the year. And on top of that, getting out of the vehicle that you want with the above and beyond competition deal of canceling unwanted loans and leases. That's only through Gwatney Chevrolet. So if you're needing a new vehicle, get you a new vehicle only with Gwatney Chevrolet, Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. They got plenty of inventory, plenty of vehicles to choose from. If you go to their website at GwatneyChevrolet.com, you can see all the inventory that they have. But it's always a lot easier just to go there in person off the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. and see their award-winning sales team, and they'll get you taken care of right out of the gates. It's at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. It's Guadney Chevrolet and GuadneyChevrolet.com. It's Out of Bounds, live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, Nathan Monin, as well as Hal Sutherland back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios, as it's been a lot of fun being out here at Twin Peaks and seeing the people come on by and say what's up to us. And
yeah, we just had a few stop by.
Yeah.
And grab some mozzarella cheese bites and chips and queso.
Yeah, which, listen, it's a good way to start out with the happy hour, but then when you throw in a couple of things like free fried pickles or the chips and queso or even the mozz bites, yeah, you can't go wrong with that. So, but yeah, come on out and see us. We'll be here till 4 o'clock this afternoon, but even for the football weekend, come on out here. For Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, all day, every day, Twin Peaks is the place to be for sure. Let's see. We got Cooper, who's in Little Rock, on the phone. What's up, Cooper?
Yeah, what's up, John? I just wanted to bring something up and just see what your thoughts are on this. But sitting here, just driving down the road with my dad, talking about why the Razorbacks can't become a national power in football. And, we talk about how we get, we're pretty content with 7, 8, 9 wins, maybe every once in a while get 10 wins. And there's one way in today's modern age that we can become a national recruiting powerhouse, and that's with money, which we've got in spades in Arkansas. And I just wonder why the Walton family or the Stevens family or the Hunt family or the Dillers family hasn't said, you know what, guys, here's $200 million we've come up with together. Y'all go win a national championship. Because I'm going to tell you for a fact, that's what it's going to take is for us to out-buy players. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that and how much fun would it be for Arkansas all of a sudden to have the number one recruiting class in the country 4 years in a row because we said, you know what, we're going to make a commitment to this. And, you think about the Walton family, they could scrounge together $500 million at a Thanksgiving dinner and say, Arkansas, y'all go get the players to win a national championship or to compete for it or to win the SEC or whatever. I'm just curious what y'all think about that.
All right, well, appreciate it, Cooper.
What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I get what Cooper's saying, and I know that it's not anything of like an insult towards Arkansas or towards their football program, because I've always felt like you never want to just say, hey, the fan or the program that I'm a fan of or the team that I'm a fan of, they'll never compete for anything, and so I'm fine with that. I'm not saying that. That's not a good way to look at it. It's about having reasonable expectations, but I look at it as it's just easy to say, all right, well, hey, just paying all this money. You got Walmart. Here's the thing about Walmart, folks. Walmart's got more money to know what to do with, but you know what they do? They do donate the money towards the University of Arkansas, not the athletic department, the University of Arkansas. I forgot how long ago it was, but they donated a $2 billion pledge to the University of Arkansas, and that was for $300 million per year until that was put up. And the reason they did that is for the academics, for all of that. So,
what better? They want to bolster their workforce because this is where their headquarters is. So why not help out the school that is in the backyard of your headquarters, and that helps their workforce. But Walmart didn't get to where Walmart is by just giving away money.
No.
They want a return on their investment. They want, what am I getting in return?
Yeah,
But the spending, the arms race for spending for players. You got billionaires at A&M. You got billionaires at Texas. Most big time programs got plenty of money, and I don't think it's the lack of money that's the problem. Look at the very simple difference between Arkansas basketball and Arkansas football.
Yeah,
Arkansas basketball, high school basketball, the talent here is very, very good. It's above average. You could put stakes around the state and recruit inside the state, and you got a really, really good squad. You can't do that in football.
Yeah.
There's not enough good football players here. It's not a big enough state. Population's not big enough. You got to go out and you got to get these other people.
Yeah. Well, in fact, the time that I was thinking about when, we were talking about the Little Rock Central football team, that was way back when, and how many great players they had. So you think about the best years that Arkansas had in football, or at least
Houston
the time,
with a bunch of in-state talent that was really, really good.
But even Petrino in 2010, 2011, it was the in-state talent. Yeah. So it's like,
and you can count Ryan Mallett as in-state talent, even though he was right on the border and goes Michigan first, comes back.
He's a Razorback.
That's an in-state guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had him. Tyler Wilson, you throw in those receivers, tight ends, and you think about, Jake Beckett was a really good player. So it just, it's almost like you got to have all the things come together at once for it to happen.
So
and
yeah, it's not
tough.
going to happen every year, but it
Right.
can happen every now and then.
Mhm.
And
Once a decade.
that kind of goes along with competing for the conference title. You don't expect that every year, but you expect it every now and then.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that if you are able to put it all together and the stars align, that's how it works. It is a lot about money and getting recruits and all that. But again, look at A&M. You got to have more than that. You got to have more than that. You think Alabama, are they the richest school in college football? No. But they got the coach.
They've had the best coach for 20 years.
Yeah, they got the same thing with Clemson and Dabo. I mean, were they the richest school and everything?
No.
It's like, no.
They found the right formula, and it worked for them.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of
they're also playing in the ACC.
That helps. But, hey, winning 2 national championships in this day and age it's really
It's a
impressive.
big deal.
It's a big deal. So, again, I'm not saying it'll never happen. It's impossible, nor you should just be like, our best we'll ever do is 9 wins. I'm not saying that, but
blue bloods are blue bloods for a reason. This is over a long period of time. I don't know, but the landscape's changing.
Yeah, it is.
This is not the same college football that
Ain't your daddy's college
Yeah,
football,
I mean, the game's changed a lot. These, and I think we're going to see it increasingly as we move forward in the next 3 to 5 years. These top dogs, these Alabamas of the world, and everything, they're going to slide back down a little bit. They've got to regress back towards the mean a little bit. Look at the depth. Look, you can't stockpile 5 stars. Well, I got 3 5-stars at defensive end, and the guy on third string's a 5-star. They're not sitting on the bench at Bama for 2-3 years waiting to play. They're going to be like Drew Sanders. They're going to come over to Arkansas and be all SEC and go to the NFL and get paid.
They'll get the talent initially, but they'll transfer out if they don't get the playing time.
You can't stockpile those guys with the transfer portal the way it is nowadays. You can't do it.
And then also throw into the mix that, and I've said this before, the NIL and the transfer portal helps a place like Arkansas more than anybody else. Folks, it's like you look at the recruiting right now for Arkansas. Is it top 5? No, but it's as high as it's been. And you think about the transfer portal guys that you're bringing in. Those are guys that probably wouldn't have given you much of the time of day in high school, but you got some things to where you can bring them in. So who's to say that, like you said, in the next few years, 5 years, 10 years, what college football is going to look like, but maybe that's something that Arkansas and what the rules are in place that they can elevate themselves to at least narrow the playing field.
Money is obviously a huge deal with how they can pay these players nowadays. And if you want to get the 5 stars, you're going to have to pay them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what trumps all in raising this recruiting up is winning.
Yeah.
You don't win. Well, why do I don't want to come to a team that's 6-6. What? That's not fun. That's not attractive. I mean, you want to be on the best team. You want to be playing in the stadiums that are sold out. Stadiums aren't sold out when you're going 6-6. I mean, it's you got to win.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's why I think Musselman's getting a lot of guys, because not only is he winning, he's putting guys in the league.
Yep.
And that's what these kids want. They want to go have a good experience, good college experience, win some games, and then have a coach that's going to give them the tools to develop to go to the next level, because that's where they all want to go.
And that's why it's easy to do it in basketball, because it's just about numbers. You don't need as many.
No doubt.
And one player can affect an entire basketball team.
No doubt.
But if you have a couple of players, that can turn your team.
Take you to the Elite 8.
Yeah, it can turn it from one season to the next, just a couple of players
Football,
making a
just
difference.
takes a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're talking about 85 scholarship players.
Right.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, and what we thought about with football. I know we're about to hit a break, but football is really the only sport at the University of Arkansas where I feel like winning a national championship would be extremely everything would have to come together, because they're good enough in basketball, both men's and women's. I think, again, if they have the talent, they have the pool, they have the ability to do it. Same thing in baseball. Now you see it in softball. You see it in soccer now. I think in track we know that they've been constantly winning. It's really football is the only sport at Arkansas where it's like for them to win a national championship.
What are we missing? Where's the missing few pieces that we haven't found, or the formula that's not something's not quite clicking, and it's hard to find. We could talk our way around it the whole time, but end of the day, playing in the SEC. I mean, just every team's really good. Yeah, I mean it's just they're all competitive. You don't get to just like Michigan, for example. We got more or less a 2-game season.
Not anymore.
Got to go.
Tide is about to turn
for this year. For this year, we do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a boring year, and at worst, we'll probably go 10-2. At best, we'll go 12-0. You got to play at Penn State. You get Ohio State at home. These other games, I mean, we might slip up. You could get upset, but you're so the difference between a lot of the teams we're playing is so big. And in Arkansas, it's not that. I mean, it's every week. And in these next 5 weeks, we're going to see it's like you're going to be tested because this team's a top 20 team.
Yep. It's going to change everything for sure. We have one final break to take, and we're going to have 3 and Out coming up, and we'll get some headlines, storylines, some things we didn't get into. And we'll close up shop as we are broadcasting live from Twin Peaks here in Little Rock. So stay with us.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Are you ready for the biggest party of the year? Nickelback, with a live show unlike any other. September 25th, Simmons Bank Arena. Nickelback, the Get Rollin' Tour. With Brantley Gilbert and Josh Ross. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Get rolling and get your tickets now.
David Dunn here with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. We're the area's largest and highest rated independent diesel repair facility for all makes and models, from transmissions and brakes to suspensions and engine repair. If you're tired of high dealership prices and long wait times, come see what family owned and locally operated really means. Expert technicians and the latest computer diagnostics will get your equipment back on the road fast. Take the England exit on I-440 to Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. 568-2185. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
What's your oak lawn? Maybe it's lounging under a cabana at our sparkling pool, or unwinding with a massage at the luxurious Astral Spa. It could be dining in elegance, then hitting the casino for fun and high fives. And while you're here, you could explore thermal spas, dining and shopping on Bathhouse Row in Hot Springs National Park, just steps away from the resort. Discover your oak lawn. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Watney Chevrolet in Jacksonville is going beyond the competition to change your current vehicle situation with Watney's exclusive loan and lease termination program.
I need your current payment, your keys, and your signature.
Call 501-982-2102 and say hasta la vista to your current ride and payment with the help of Watney's loan and lease termination program, regardless of your current financial situation.
I swear I will approve everyone.
Rates as low as 0% on new Chevrolets. Trade now and terminate your payments until 2024.
Get to Guatney now!
The loan and lease termination program is this month only at Guatney Chevrolet, 1301 TPY Drive in Jacksonville. Call 501-982-2102. GuatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. All offers with approved credit. All voices are impersonators, but Guatney's the real thing.
Shop Guatney Chevrolet once, and you'll be back.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
$10 says your local Staples now accepts Amazon returns. $10 says you can make those returns at Staples 7 days a week. $10 says you'll get in and out fast and easy. $10 says when you make an Amazon return at Staples, you'll get $10 off your Staples purchase of $30 or more. $10 says it's pretty cool to get $10 to spend on something you want just for returning something you don't. $10 says Staples will be your new favorite place for Amazon returns. $10 says you knew I was going to say $10 says. Offer good in store only. Exclusions apply.
Make it the event that everyone wants to attend by getting your meat for tailgates, parties, or just family get-togethers at Hogs Meat Market. Hogs Meat Market, the steak people.
Kane is in the building.
Their time is done. It's over.
Over? Did you say over?
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
Call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone. I play real sports. I'm trying to be the best at exercising.
It's time for 3 and Out. It's been 3 hours, and we are...
Boom. Out of here.
All right, it is time for 3 and Out. A few headlines, a few storylines, a few things that we got to dive into. But before we do that, we need a qualifier for the great contest that we have going on for the Southwest Classic package to Dallas, where 2 people would get 2 tickets, a hotel room for 2 nights, and a round-trip transportation, as well as $103.70 to the great event coming up against Texas A&M with the Arkansas Razorback football game. So if you want to qualify for that, it's not to win it. If you want to qualify for that, be the first caller right now, 501-661-1037. Be the first caller, and we'll be sure to get you qualified for that. And we'll have more qualifiers happening next week, but we'll go ahead and knock that out for you as well. It's John Nabors, Joe Franklin, Nathan Monin here as part of Twin Peaks, which we always appreciate Twin Peaks having us out. And it looks like we have also another special guest joining us.
Trinity is joining us right now. What's going on, Trinity?
Yeah, what's up, Trinity?
Nothing much. I'm just out here excited. This is the first time I was, introduced to it. Last time you guys came, I was super excited. I said, "How come you guys don't hear from the girls?"
We always want to hear from you.
Fair question.
Yeah. Matter of fact, come stand here, Trinity. We want to get you on camera so everybody can see you, and they can come see you today when they come in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
Hey, what's the best thing to eat here?
Yeah.
Your favorite
Want to
thing?
have a seat?
The pot roast.
Pot roast, really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
That is not the first thing that came to mind.
No, it's like wings and burgers usually, but
Which are good.
yeah. The smoked wings are actually the number one thing that I try to promote, because who the hell has smoked
Not
wings?
many people have smoked wings.
No.
How about the hot sauce? It's the newest, hottest sauce for the wings.
Yeah. No, that's actually. I'm sorry. It's really hot. I'm like, it's all in the name. Everybody's like, oh, it's not that hot or whatever, but it is. So.
Well, excellent. Yeah, because we were talking about everything I've ever had here is always good, but I never had the pot roast. I guess I got to try that next time.
Oh, yeah.
Try that one out.
Everything's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, well, we always enjoy coming out here, especially this time of year, football season and everything. Probably keeps you guys pretty busy as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm always excited when football season comes around. It's probably my favorite thing about this place. It gets pretty packed. The customers are always super excited. They're happy to see me. Everybody's just real cheerful around this time of year.
I bet.
Need to get that weather to keep getting cooler so they can get those fires going outside. I like those.
Absolutely. You working the Razorback game tomorrow?
No, actually, I'm off. I might come in here, though. Hang out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's always a good time.
Yeah, it's the best place to be here for that then, too. So
Who else has cold beer like us?
not that I've seen.
29 degrees.
Yeah, 29.6 degrees right now.
Yeah, especially when it's like you actually have the temperature right there when you walk in.
Yeah.
Nobody else that I've ever been to has that. So
How
I'd be
about
lying to you?
the bourbon, tequila, and whiskey? As you come through the door, you're able to see it walking in. Got the
And
nice display.
Tonight, we'll probably have it set up after you guys leave, actually. A bourbon and brew display. We do select bourbons every Friday, and set it out on display. Have the girls take a picture, and we pass out little batch cocktails to everybody in the restaurant just for free. Usually people, like it, order it, helps with sales. So yeah.
That starts at 5 o'clock. Bourbon and brews 5 to 7. So crossover with happy hour. Happy hour is still going on until 7 o'clock.
I mean, happy hour till 7. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Happy hours are usually like 3 to 5, and then like right at dinner they cut it off. They got happy hour till 7.
And then to top that off, you come back later for happy hour, 10 to close.
Kind of a reverse one. If you're here late, you get half price stuff. Both sides.
And what's really cool, if you work in the service industry, all our restaurant workers get 50% off of like burgers, and sandwiches, and some of our appetizers. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent. So we have to have everybody come out here and make sure that they ask for you and they're getting sad, right?
Trinity. Don't mistake it.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cool. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate Twin Peaks being a part of our show. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much. So, yeah,
Appreciate it, Trinity.
Come out, see Trinity. And again, Twin Peaks is the place to be for each and every night, especially during football season, and having some fun with that too.
Trinity was tailgating for the Little Rock game at War Memorial.
Oh, excellent.
Pot roast.
The pot roast. Yeah.
Hey,
remember that.
I'm never shying away from a good recommendation. If somebody knows what they're talking about, I'll listen to them.
Yeah. Well, she certainly seems like she knows what she's talking about, considering, she works here. She probably would know a few things about what's good and what's here. So, but yeah, I have to remind myself to try that next time we're out there. Real quick, though, a few things, though, before we close up shop here. Having some fun with this. Apparently, Soldier Field has been robbed because $100,000 worth of lawnmowers and gators are missing from the Chicago Bears. It said several days ago someone stole equipment, and they're currently trying to track down who did it. It's about $100,000. They said staff said the thieves tore down the security fence to drive the equipment out of the garage. And I'm like,
good grief.
This seems like a heist, like the way that it would take you had to
some
know
organized crime.
Yeah, you had to know where the equipment was at. You had to know what it was worth. You had to have enough people to drive it out of there. Like, something crazy, but man, the hits just keep on coming for the Chicago Bears. Even their lawn equipment keeps getting stolen.
That's not good.
49ers have given multi-year contracts to head coach Kyle Shanahan and GM John Lynch. They've both been with the team since 2017, and now it looks like they're both going to be there for a lot longer. Not many details yet as far as the contracts, how much they are, and how long they're for, but they're getting multi-year deals to stick around for a while.
So also, I always find it funny with the amount of dating apps that are out there in the world and people using them and trying to do some things with them. Well, they've been kind of going up in price, whether they're having subscriptions and whatnot. And if you want the extra likes, apparently you have to pay for them. But Tinder is one of the most popular ones. Well, they have an exclusive deal just for you if you're out there trying to find love, where it's a $500 per month subscription to those who are intent
bit strong
on finding future partners. It says it's been tentatively named Tinder Vault, where it's no word when it'll actually launch, but concept comes with the fact that there's so many different dating apps out there, and sometimes it's not exactly what people are trying to find. And it seems that it's they're trying to get to a point to where it has invite only and includes VIP searching and as well as declining subscribers. So you have to be selected, or you used to have to be in there too.
There's another way.
Yeah,
you don't have to go that route.
If you're going that extreme about it, then you know what? Maybe it's just not for you. Maybe you just got to say, you know what? I'm flying solo the rest of my life because that's way too much dadgum money.
Aaron Rodgers said he congratulated Jordan Love on the ownership staying in place of the Bears. So the Packers week 1 played against the Bears, and Aaron Rodgers is famous for saying "I own you" when he was the Packers quarterback against the Bears. He said Jordan Love kept it in place, and he said it was pretty awesome for him.
By the way, anyone see Stephen A. Smith's pitch? His first pitch from home.
Yeah. It was bad.
That was bad.
It bounced.
Oh, really?
It bounced. Oh. Yeah. But as they were talking about on the zone today, I agree with them. It's like no one's going to remember if you throw it right over the mound or right over the plate. Unless you're like, George W. Bush after 9/11. That's the only one.
That's the best pitch I've ever seen.
But anybody else that threw one like that, no one's going to remember. But Stephen A. Smith certainly doesn't get remembered for that one.
Don't look like 50 Cent.
Yeah, well.
Or Snoop.
Yeah,
both of those were bad.
Yeah, there's been plenty of bad ones. That one's definitely up there, too.
Get to Twin Peaks today. Get the weekend started and come by all weekend. Come by for the Razorback game tomorrow. All college football, NFL going on all through the weekend. Major League Baseball, combat sports. They have it all here at Twin Peaks.
And we appreciate Twin Peaks having us out. For Joe Franklin, Nathan Monin, as well as Kyle Sutherland back in the Hogs Meat Market Studios. I'm John Nabors. Same sports show, same sports channel next Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We have Drive Time Sports coming up next.